Good evening and welcome to the Vaingate Chronicles. I'm Russell Kirkby, your Dungeon Master for this evening. Currently we have two players away tonight, so we shall be improvising around that minor inconvenience. Those guys, because obviously we have a fantastic cast of actors and performers and things, which leads to a minor problem whereby they get jobs and things they get paid for and stuff, so they have to occasionally go off and do these types of things. And we're not really want to stop them, so, that would be a bit unreasonable. So here we are, it's just us. I'd like to introduce, of course, Gudael Dala Talandaran, played by Johanna Grotenhouse, Milford Brixton, the infamous rogue and but generally a nice guy, Barry Tahira, and Adrik Fogdar, Rune Knight Extraordinaire, played by the infamous Michael Beach. I have not got a huge long intro for you this evening. I usually do, but not tonight because of the interruption. It was kind of moot. So what we're going to do tonight is something a little bit different, but a little bit the same. So yes, before we get too far down the rabbit hole, I would like to say thank you to Dungeon Stream for sponsoring us. They have given us a certain amount of marketing and things over the last few weeks, and continue to do so and assist us in other numerous ways. I'd like to point out that we are still part of the Gaming for Charity. Look down there, find Gaming for Charity, click on it. Donate $1. Come on, $1. It's not going to kill you, really. Save some kids' lives. Donate $100, donate $1,000, and if you've still got money left over, you can buy a subscription and watch the Vaingate Chronicles for the next 6 months to a year or whatever. That'd be awesome. We also have a Patreon, and there's also all sorts of other links down below which you can check out. We have a YouTube channel where you can watch our archives if you're not up to date with the story. We have a website where we have blogs from one of our players, Max Easy, who's not here tonight, but he writes letters to Maria, his character's wife, and so on and so forth. So please do all of the things, check us out, have a look around the site, and get to know us, because we're freaking awesome, and so's our stream and stuff. Yeah, okay, that's enough from me. I have to do this obligatory talking us up bullshit because, marketing and streaming and all that stuff. Fortunately, I'm just narcissistic enough to be able to do it and not feel too bad about it. Anyway, tonight, our heroes are sitting in their apartments. Well, presently, it's daytime. It's mid-afternoon. Early afternoon. It's about midday, in fact. The trumpets have sounded for lunch. And so the entire city of Hemith Tirith is taking a 1 to 2 hour break for lunch and siestas or whatever people want to do in the middle of the Festival of the Wheel. And the Festival of the Wheel is underway. They've just returned from the morning wild hunt back to the city, with whereupon they learned things about how the High Elves and the Wood Elves go about their business of hunting, and how the new King Ivran, is essentially transforming the culture of the elves into something much more, well, I can only think of the term darker, in the sense that his new culture is a bit more diverse or divergent from the nature-based religion of the elves, and this has begun to become apparent to our characters here. In any case, they're sitting in their apartments. There's 6 apartments located in a little cluster with a little courtyard in the center and an apple tree. And the light is streaming in from above. There's currently a couple of blackbirds sitting up among the trees, pecking at the little buds of some apples that have just begun to blossom over the last day or so since they've been here. Adrik, what are you doing?
I think Adrik is just in a mirror admiring his new armor.
Right, so Adrik's just picked up his full plate armor, his brand new dwarven full plate armor that covers him from head to foot. The mirror itself is a steel mirror because glass mirrors are rather uncommon. So you're having to use a hand mirror to do that. You can't see all of yourself at once, which is slightly annoying.
His particular focus on that is he's just inspecting his runes, making sure that everything, all the lines connect to how it should, so he's got full access to that power when he needs it.
Right, that makes sense. Okay. Gudael.
Gudael's in the courtyard watching she's gotten distracted by the crows, and she's wondering if she can shoo them away so that the buds can grow.
Right, so does she step forward and do that?
Yeah, I think she will.
She comes up and she's like waving her arms.
Go on, get out of here.
All right, they fly off.
Gudael, what are you doing?
I'm just trying to make sure that some apples can actually grow on this poor tree.
Well, don't make the birds get excited. I'm in the tree, you idiot.
Oh, what are you doing there, Milford? I mean, Edryn.
I'm looking. It's comfortable up here. I miss a bit of nature, you know.
So Milford was literally hiding in the tree, and you didn't see him. The tree is a lot bigger than I had in mind then, but okay. It's a great tree apparently, and it's growing up and out through the roof. All right.
Don't you miss the touch of nature?
Do you drop down from the tree at this point?
I climb down from the tree gracefully.
Oh, gracefully. Well, then you can make a graceful acrobatics check.
Oh, really?
Mr. Brixton.
Okay.
Yeah, it's that. All right, so for our dice log, Milford Brixton, you're running athletics check. 21. Yeah. All right, you do it. You jump down.
I always took you for a city boy myself.
You can't see a bloody thing from up there, you know. Just roofs and more roofs and roofs and more roofs and occasionally more roofs.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Are you planning an escape via the roofs?
so out of game, I'm just going to say the apple trees are not that huge. So I'm guessing Milford must have actually used it to get up on the roof through the hole to see out there, because the tree itself
I don't want to say that out loud.
Right.
Because, you know, I'm not in my own land.
Right. That's fair.
Yeah, and they've got pretty good roofs here, you know. They get you quite far, and they're kind of connected.
Right.
Which is a bit dangerous, because, you know, any thief could go in, you know.
So, Milford, you've been sneaking around on the roofs, and you've just returned?
No, I haven't.
Well, we're going to make a stealth check, because you and I both know that you're lying.
Oh, it's not fair. Accusing me of lying. Stealth now. Oh, there it is.
There it is. Here we go. Oh, stealth check for Milford Brixton. 26. 26. Crikey, dick, mate. That is a pretty stealthy. All right, we will speak of it no more.
Oh, that's right. We will speak of it no more.
Right. To all intents and purposes, you may or may not have been on the roofs, and nobody would know the difference.
Okay.
Not even
now,
the birds know where you've been.
But, Gudael, should we need to escape, I know which way we should go.
Oh?
Yes, I got a plan.
You always do.
You know, I'm never going underground again, I've decided.
What's that?
Never, ever again, for no reason. I'm telling you, I'm staying away from underground.
What's so wrong with underground, Brixton? Adrik says, walking in from his inspection.
Oh, it's true. There's only good-looking people like you there. If only that was the case, I'd be happy.
So I don't see why you'd want to avoid it.
Every time I go underground, there's bloody monsters or ogres or something that wants to kill me.
Aye, there was
There's
a silver
also-
above ground.
Okay, so I hear the other two have gone to look at libraries.
Libraries? Oh.
Aye,
Apparently they got a library here.
Edryn didn't tell me where he was going, but he was a wee bit distressed from the other night, so it's probably best to give the lad some time.
No, I can imagine. I'm a wee bit distressed every night I stay here.
Well, hopefully it won't be too long.
Well, that's what I'm hoping too.
Well, it's a good thing you already spied your escape route, just in case.
Hey, is your brother coming to talk to us at some stage?
I believe I did invite him, but today is the feast day, so I couldn't say if he'd actually show before an important event.
No offense meant, but can we trust that little bugger?
To be honest, I don't really know.
Well,
He's always been very, very close to father.
Always very close to father, is he? Ooh.
He always used to be.
So, just briefly interrupting you, I'm sorry. Leith and Edryn, thank you. Edryn have wandered off earlier. They've told you that they're going to go and study some things in the libraries. So, just for your information, that's where they are and why they're not presently.
Did I not already say that?
You might
I
have.
thought I said that.
Did you say that? Well, if you did say that,
Yeah,
then...
Barry did say that.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's great. That's fantastic. I was busy checking my notes and not listening.
Oh, Russell.
I know.
That's how much we matter to him.
Right. I was busy
Okay.
planning your
He goes
demise.
now.
Busy over there counting beans.
Beans.
Who's counting beans?
Well, Russell is apparently more interesting than we are.
Oh.
Anyway. Well,
Okay, let's get back to the game now.
Right.
so
We don't really need a GM, you know.
Sad but true.
Okay, now
my
listen.
feeling on Gudael's brother is that he's got a lot more information than we're likely to get on our own. So the closer we can stick to him and avoid a potential double cross, the better. But it's potentially not something we can't entirely avoid.
This is true. He will know quite a lot.
Dala,
Yes,
are you sure you're related to these people?
yes, I'm sadly quite sure.
Because you're just so nice.
Well, I thank you. I think when you're not treated very well by a certain group, you do tend to try to differentiate yourself from them.
Okay.
Ding, 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 ding. There's a bell at the door.
I'll get him. I'll get him. Hello?
You open the door and there's a a male elf with short hair and a servant's garb standing before you, and he bows deeply. Adrik, can you make a wisdom perception check, please?
I certainly can. But yeah, there we go. The dice is rolling. Hell yeah.
That's a 17.
You immediately notice that he is bearing the insignia of the House of Talandaran.
Hey, speak of the devil and he shall appear. Come on in, boy.
The devil, sir? He steps in.
That's,
I'm here to ask you all if you would quickly come to meet with Lady Talandaran's brother, Aelar. I am a servant of his. Yes.
Not yet, sir. We were just discussing your master. Friends, are you ready to be going?
Yes, I could be.
He's asked if you would meet him at the Arcanist's Tower in the Arcane District, near the temple. It's not far from here. Perhaps a 10-minute walk.
Excellent.
Very good.
All
Shall
right.
we, gentlemen?
Yes.
So you take your belongings and things, I assume?
We taken
Yes.
all our things?
Yes.
All.
Yes, we had to this time.
Well, we don't know that.
As you're preparing, he says, Lord Aelar has asked that perhaps you bring your equipment. He said it's imperative.
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 Right. All right.
Okay. Then
Give
Quick
up.
team meeting. Excuse us, sir.
Of course, I will wait outside if you need to speak. And he closes the door and stands outside.
Okay, so Aelar knows that I'm a cleric, obviously, and knows that clerics sometimes deal with magical things.
I
If I
thought just
Go
having a discussion. Am we?
Yeah, just wondering what sort of equipment he would want us to bring and why.
Yeah.
If well, he's familiar with the idea that we may have weapons and such on our travels. So for us to receive such a pointed reminder, I'm under the impression that he may want us to come fully armed.
There is, who would like to make an intelligence check?
I'll do it.
All right.
All
Does
right.
anyone want to help him with the intelligence check? I think it would be fair.
Please,
that-
I've only got a +2.
I will hide.
Dala can.
All right. So you.
Would you like some guidance?
All right. Well, you can give him guidance too if you like.
Hell yeah, guide me.
Guide you.
What does that do?
Okay, so you are going to get a plus D4 bonus to your check, but you also have advantage. So you take the highest number and then add a D4 to that.
Feels good.
And I'm just wait a second before you roll because I need to come over here. All right, Adrik, there we go. Okay, so it was a 12 with advantage.
12 plus my
Plus
that's
your
with
D4.
advantage plus my D4. Oh boy, please.
You rolled a 5 and a 10. That's shocking.
Yeah, man.
Oh my God, 13. Okay, well, it's enough. It's enough to realize. It's enough to realize that there is another really strong reason why he might suggest you to bring your equipment, and you're paranoid enough to realize that what if somebody was onto you? Maybe he's just trying to lead you out of here. Maybe this is escape. Maybe this is the time to run.
That being said, friends, this might be a ruse, a way for him to get his hands on our gear. It might be best then to play this cautiously, despite what I said a second ago. Worst case scenario, he takes armor, but well, and a fairly well made but otherwise useless armor.
Or he could be onto us and realize that we're about to step into a trap and he may be trying to help us.
That's what I meant.
If
Well, the only way we're gonna find out is if we go. So let's take all that we take and see what happens.
okay. If we keep all the magical items in the bag of holding, they may be safe there.
All right.
That'd be a good idea if you
good
could put
idea.
them, someplace.
Okay. All right.
Okay, let's go.
All right. So you take what you can and you add it to the bag of holding, or you withdraw the bag of holding from where you've been hiding it, with all of your various magical accoutrements within. And you open the door, and the young man is standing there. My name is Haemil, by the way. Haemil. I am.
Haemil.
Yes, Haemil. You can call me that. I am a servant of your brother Aelar. I will take you to him now, if you follow me, please. And so you go through the corridors of the barracks of the Daughters of Twilight's temple, and not in Vaingate, in Hemith Tirith. And you go past the stables on the way out, and you get to the gate. And you see some of the Daughters of Twilight's horses being cleaned and preened outside the stables at present by some of the stable hands as you go past them. You see one or two armoured female paladins of the Daughters of Twilight there as well, chatting and talking and eating a handheld lunch, as it were, just food that they're carrying with them, rather than sitting down with the rest of the entire order, who no doubt at this point are inside in the mess hall, feasting together. So you guys go wandering out of this complex and up this narrow set of stairs that travel around outside, around some columns and behind a wall and up through a garden until you get to the Arcane District, where you arrive at the back of the Tower of Art, where there's this small structure nearby, and you see Aelar standing in the doorway, and he ushers you. Come, come. He says, keep your heads low.
Okay.
All right. So, what's all this then?
He says, now listen, Gudael, I've been doing some research, and I am well aware of who your friends are. And he looks over at Milford, and then at Adrik. Where are the other two?
They needed some quiet study today.
Oh dear.
What kind of research? How easy was it to find out about us?
Gudael, you must understand who I am. But I will tell you this. I am not going to pass this information on to Father. This I will keep between us, and I have my reasons, the very least of which is some of the information that I have uncovered over the past decades, and how my own suspicions have been beginning to peak. And the information that you've brought me so far has begun to ring some bells, shall we say. So, firstly, I think I need to let you know one thing. There is, I believe, an imposter in the court of the king. I believe that his name is Edryn Ildruan.
Edryn?
Aye. There is something highly suspicious about this particular fellow. I think.
What makes you think? What's made him get your attention?
He is constantly at the ear of the king, and few other advisors have been given so much time and so much thought as this one fellow, and it seems that his edicts and his considerations are given much greater weight than the others in the court.
How long has he been serving your king?
4 decades. Many decades. To be fair with you, Master Adrik, it is unknown to me precisely when he appeared. No one seems to have an exact record. I myself can only remember him there for as long as I have been appearing in court, which was for the last 100 years or so.
All right. Well, what? So I suppose that's what you're getting to. The evidence then.
Now, as for Ren, in order to save Ren from his fate at the Sufferance, I've been looking into a number of different options. Father does not seem to be able to budge on his decision, on his ruling that Ren should be kept there. I've not been able to convince him otherwise. And to be fair with you, Gudael, I am not prepared to step over a certain line, whereupon I too will be imprisoned in the Sufferance, and that will be no good for anyone, and I suggest that you too do not cross that line, for then you will not be able to do anything of agency outside.
This seems prudent.
Aye. So, one thing I have learnt. The Sufferance itself, if we are to remove Ren, somehow, which I believe is your intention.
Aye.
Did not realize I was so transparent.
Sister, you must understand that I can read your mind.
Oh. Naturally.
Why else do you think Father employs me with the Blackguard?
Of course.
But what filters through me and what stays with me are two different things. I have only been able to stymie the flow of information for so long. He has other advisors. Understand that I am not his only source of intelligence. So that I must make it clear to you that I am taking risks even as I speak with you now.
True, you must stay in his good stead.
Correct. So, what I am going to suggest to you is that the first thing that we need to do is obtain the keys to the sufferance.
Off with the keys.
I know...
Now, are these quite physical keys in the nature that we are accustomed to with doors, or are they more metaphysical, magical in nature?
I will be honest with you, Master Fogdar. I am not absolutely sure of the exact nature of the keys. However, I am aware of a legend, a story. It is said that beneath the waterfall that falls between the east and west wings of the palace, the High Palace here in Hemith Tirith, there is a chamber which long ago revealed the keys to the mythal of the sufferance, the very prison in which our brother is kept, Gudael. And that mythal is the ancient elven magic, high magic that holds all other magic at bay within that sphere. The keys are said to be written there, written or kept. It does depend greatly upon how one translates the legends themselves. I tend to believe that the term is a reference to some sort of passcode or writing, but do not be surprised if there are in fact keys too. I cannot say. It could be one or the other. It's a matter of interpretation. In any case, I have done some research and I have discovered whereabouts there is an entrance to a passage that will take you to the location. There is an entranceway there that has not been passed through in centuries. It is completely off the record of the palace guard. Even the Black Guard have no reference to this. The only reason I know about it is something that I learned as a child from our father a very long time ago. So, hopefully with this information, I will be able to create enough of a diversion to keep you, shall we say, to make sure that you're not followed. You will need to pass through the palace to the lowered floors, and then there is a passageway that will lead from the back of the kitchens all the way through the mortuary, beyond the mortuary. Then you will find an exit that will take you to a path behind the waterfall. I believe there is a ledge that will lead along the edge of the waterfall, and there somewhere will be a secret door. Finding the secret door, I imagine, will not be obvious or easy, and I can wish you only luck with that. But if you know that it is there, and you search long enough and hard enough, no doubt you will find it, if it is indeed there. If you find nothing, I suppose there is nothing to be done. You would just return the way you came, and you will use this seal. And he hands you a scroll, Gudael. If anyone questions you, this will be the seal of the Black Guard, and it should be enough to relieve you of any suspicion, at least immediately.
All right. Well, that should do us for a while then. Can you give us any? I suppose you would have told us already. This seal.
Yes.
It should keep us safe from prying eyes of palace guards, etc.
Well, to a point, yes, sir. To a point. Any blackguards of a high enough caliber will expect to break that seal and open it, wherein they will find a forgery.
Aye.
And if they are aware of current codes and dates and things, they will very quickly realize that this has been a ruse.
And are there any badges of office on these higher guards so that we may better avoid them if they come into our vision?
You'll recognize them by their red plumes.
Excellent. Peacocks.
You will see also that they might have gold leaf embedded in their armor. Their black lacquered armor is usually very distinctive, but the gold leaf and the red plumes will separate the officers from the regular ranks of guard.
Fantastic. Well, that should be all we need. Friends, shall we be going? Anything else we need to know? Gudael, you're a mute.
Should we be found out, Aelar, and questioned about how we got these documents?
Yes.
Obviously, we won't mention your name.
Oh, I suggest that you do.
Oh?
We do.
If you are at a point where there is nothing else to be done, come to me. Bring me into this fold, and I will find some sort of excuse. It will not be pretty for any of us. However, left alone, you will surely flounder. They will simply... Left alone, you may end up in the hands of another interrogator. If you bring my name into it, then at least I will be able to do the interrogating. I will be able to buy us all time. I will probably need to flee the city with you at that point, because there will be a time limit after that moment, at which point we may all suffer.
Aelar, why would you risk so much? What do you gain from this?
Adrik, understand that Brother Wren may not have been appreciated in the time that he has been roaming the earth, but he is appreciated now. And the information that I believe you and Gudael, my sister here, dearest, and my brother in the sufferance have is perhaps dire and may change the fate of the entire kingdom.
That's good enough for me for now. Shall we be going?
Aelar, thank you.
Did you bring your things? I did suggest that you bring your things. Do you have anything with you?
Yes, we do.
Very well,
We are
then.
well armed, don't you worry.
I trust you do. Very well.
Do you know where we could get blackguard uniforms?
Haha. That is possible, yes. Yes, we can organize something along these lines. However, my plan was to introduce you into the palace as part of the Daughters of Twilight's entourage. I have a contact among the sisters there at present. Gudael, I'm sure you know Iolantha Imdrael.
Yes, I do.
She and her contingent will be arriving at the palace in 1 hour. I suggest that you are with her. I
Yes.
can arrange blackguard uniforms, but that will be trickier to do from without than within, and I was not planning on entering with you. I need to stay outside in order to make other things happen.
Understood, my lord.
Will Iolantha be expecting us then?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay.
Okay.
We better go get ready.
I will
Aye.
try and organize for a servant of mine, and he looks over at Haemil, to make provision for you to have uniforms made available once you are inside the palace. Haemil, does that storeroom still exist? Do you still have access to that locker? Yes, my lord. Then perhaps you can organize this. I will try, my lord. I will do my best. It might take me a little while. I will have to move them, I'm sure, and obtain them, but I will try. Best that you do, Haemil. Very good. In the meantime, I suggest that the others, you, prepare yourselves for this, what is next to come. And good luck, Godspeed, may Corellon Larathian guide you.
And good luck to you, my lord.
Love, liberty, and light.
Hey, that.
So, he shoos you away.
Okay, let's get going.
Yes. Adrik, you've got your beautiful armor on already.
Alright. Just need to get my hammer, shield, other hammer, bigger one, and I'll be good to go.
Right. And
I'll just put on what I've got.
All right. So how do you appear right now, each of you? Starting with Barry. And welcome, Super Kawaii Desu Princess, for following us. Yay.
woohoo!
Nice. Thanks, guy. Thank you, friend.
Yeah, so how do
Okay.
you how do you appear? So let's start with Gudael. We'll go left to right.
Well, for this mission, Gudael would like to have her splint armor and her vestments on so she can slot in with the daughters.
All right. Sounds like a plan. Okay, so you're looking very much Daughters of Twilight. Okay, so Milford, how are you appearing? Are you going with the previous Erdan background story?
Yeah. I'll go with the previous Erdan background story.
Okay. All right, so you look basically like Gudael's man-at-arms servant.
Yeah.
All right. Adrik.
Light mail, hammer, shield, iron stone in my pocket, belt buckled on, and my big hammer.
Your big hammer. Okay.
The hammer of thunderbolts.
Very magical, that is.
It is. Adrik reaches in the bag, holds onto the haft, thinks, this is very magical, and lets go and leaves it in the bag for now.
Okay. All right. Good. Probably a good decision, I think, in the
Yeah.
long run. Okay, so you guys go
Hurts a
down.
bit there, doesn't it?
You head on down
It
to the
does.
Daughters of Twilight complex. There's Temple. And you see a bunch of Daughters of Twilight, paladins and clerics and their attendees and servants, squires, etc., stable hands, preparing what looks like a bit of a parade. That it consists of about 22 paladins with attendees, yeah, adding up to about 32 members of this one parade. Among them, you see Iolanthra Imdrael sitting upon her horse. She's wearing a salette, and she's raises the visor and turns to you and sort of steers her horse sideways. Is that you, Gudael? She trots over
Hello.
to you. She says, hold. She tells everybody to stop. She trots over in your direction for a moment. What do we have here? I heard you were coming.
Yes, we've made it for the Festival of the Wheel. I was wondering, perchance, could we join you in your party?
Of course, of course. And she sort of trots around you in a circle as she speaks to you, sort of holding her horse's reins quite tightly. And she does this tight circle around you. Yes, of course, please do step in line at the back. We will be going immediately to the king's chambers, whereupon we will be making an appearance in the throne room. Bear in mind this will possibly be quite tense, Gudael, but nonetheless, it must be done. We must make these appearances, you understand.
We have to keep the relations cordial.
She looks over at the other two of you, and she nods. It is good to see you too. I hope
Aye.
you are all well.
Well enough, thank you.
We've met before, have we not? Fogdar, is it?
That is I.
We met...
Though I wasn't in your company for very long.
Ah, but it was Solanor Temple in Vaingate, wasn't it?
Aye?
I do remember you. Yes, yes. Well,
Well,
I
I'm grateful that I made such an impression.
I apologize and hope that you are finding it at least tolerable within the walls of our temple this time.
Far enough away from the temple proper, aye.
May Corellon forgive you and your peculiar attitudes, Mr. Fogdar, but I'm sure even Moradin sends his best wishes.
I don't want it.
Well, I will leave that between you and your deities, Mr. Fogdar.
Aye, best that way.
We will not speak of it again.
I thank you.
You're welcome. Please do take a step in line behind the train, and we shall continue on up to the mount.
Aye.
Very well. So, thusly, you guys form part of a large contingent heading on up towards the palace. And you wind your way up to the palace, and you go through these enormous gates with these huge towers on either side. There's lots of guards, not just black guards, but palace guards. The palace guards are a bit different to the black guard. The palace guard, Gudael, you happen to know, are their own order, and they've always been this one thing. They don't serve the black guard. They don't serve anybody. They're kind of like the Swiss guard at the Vatican. They're their own thing, and they're very pretty. To be fair, their armor is very shiny. They've got big helmets and plumes and stuff. It's all well overboard. And you get to the palace proper, which is this enormous gold leaf covered facade. And in the center of this, there's a bridge that goes out across the waterfall that splits and divides the palace into two main sections on the front. You are aware that the palace itself goes deep into the wall behind the waterfall. So it's a massive underground complex which has gardens on the roof, split in the middle by the river that comes down over the waterfall. But you go in through the front entrance, and there's these huge walls around it, and there's this massive open courtyard surrounded by greenery and little follies and bits of forest, and you can see guards training over on one side and gardeners on the other and all of the things. And eventually you get up to the front of the palace, and the parade kind of stops there. There's lots of cheering, and there's all sorts of attendees and what have you outside waiting for you. There's a massive group of nobles and all of their attendees waiting, knights of various descriptions, number of different other contingents that have all gathered here at this one point. And now you all dismount as you get to the front, and there's this whole thing with horns blasting and a flag waving ceremony, and this whole pretentious ritual goes on until finally it subsides and you're invited into the palace. And as you go into the palace, you step in. You're led down this big hallway with all these coats of arms hanging on the walls, these massive, massive walls, like 5 floors high. And the roofs are immaculate and beautiful. It's some of the most amazing art you've ever seen outside of the Daughters of Twilight. They're very similar in terms of the level of expense and ancientness, yes,
Would Gudael have had the opportunity to be in the palace?
You've been in here a couple of
Yeah.
times. Yeah. In fact,
Yeah.
you know what, Gudael? Why don't you roll me a d10? That's how many times you've been in the palace. In fact, make it 2d6. Can you do that?
2d6.
Yes. At least that way you've been in here at least a minimum of twice.
Alright. 2 and roll.
7
Say it.
times. Okay, so this is your 8th trip to the palace. So you certainly recognize things here. And definitely you can make history checks or religion checks if you see any details or anything that you want to, recollect. Okay?
Okay.
But you recognize all of the coats of arms and emblems of all of the various houses, the high houses of this place. The Erithani, the Imdrael, the Talandaran, the Ariasis, the Ilduruan, the Elasadril, the Irwindrea, the Vandir. All of these houses are present, and all of their coats of arms. Speaking of which, I have added, this is just a little aside to our players, we have a spreadsheet with all of the lineages in it that we keep for the game. And I have added symbols to each of those lineages. So, for example, the Erithani have a crown, the Imdrael have a cup, the Talandaran, their symbol is the head of a fiery staff. So yeah, so on and so forth. So if you're interested, I can tell you the name and the description of the emblems for each of these houses as you go in there. In any case, you eventually get to the throne room, what we call the Megaron, stealing the Greek term for it. It's a huge chamber with massive stone walls and pillars down both sides with a carpet that runs the length of the room. 3 tiers of steps at the very end, with the top step has the main throne on it. There's also other thrones up there, but they are empty. Clustered around those thrones on either side are smaller tiers that have seats for the high-ranking nobles and advisors. And the walls are lined in candles as well. As you look up to the roof, in fact, you know what? You can make perception checks. Wisdom perception checks. Because I love making checks so much. Adrik, 16. Gudael,
16.
12.
Yeah.
Well, Gudael, you're already well aware of this, so it's not so much of a perception check for you as you just recall it when you notice it. Milford, did you roll? Milford a 7. Okay, Milford, you don't notice this, but Adrik, you do, and Gudael, you're already aware. But the ceiling is covered with this massive fresco that reveals a kind of a montage, a story. And the story essentially goes thus. Once upon a time, the world of Sidarhael was covered with giants and dragons, and they were at war. Then one day the elves appeared, and they appeared at the behest of Corellon the Rathian, who you recognize because of his headdress and the style of his drawing and manner. And he ushered in the primal elves. And the primal elves set up camp, essentially, and started building cities, and they assisted the humans to come in much later. But while this was all going on, one day the moon was struck by this massive fiery comet, Parkard, and destroyed the very temple of the moon goddess was destroyed and smashed into 7 pieces. Thank you, Super Kawaii Desu Princess. We really appreciate that. She said,
That's very kind of
I'm
you.
just going to pass this on to Barry. She says, this honestly is one of the best D&D streams that she has seen. Love it. Keep up the amazing work. I'm assuming it's a she. I apologize if I'm wrong, but the name suggests that. So anyway, yes, thank you. Hope you enjoy it going forward. Normally we have more players. Today we have a fewer number for reasons, but in any case. The
Russell,
story.
in fairness to the princess, it could be plural, but double plural, which is why there's two S's. So princesses.
Right.
Makes perfect sense to me.
We're such a bunch of fools. Forgive us. Anyway, okay. So the ceiling, the story. You guys know the story, but this is mostly for the sake of our audience. So yeah, Corellon the Rathian brought the elves to this world. They set up camp. They brought in the humans and some other races as kind of like refugees, essentially, before Parkard came and smashed the moon, destroying the avatar of the moon goddess, Sehenine Moonbow, sending her soul to hell, to the abyss, one or the other. Nobody's really sure where it went, to be honest, and splitting the moon up into 7 moons, which now float around the world on a kind of an axis. Namely the pillar, the steps, the high arch, the watchtower, the sanctum, the gate tower, and the altar. These are physical moons that look like, oh, welcome Jazans. These physical moons look like actual pieces of architecture, these humongous pieces of architecture that float around the world that were once part of the Moon Temple. And that is the story of Sidarhael, basically. Aside from that, there is the story of the gash that is left across the world by the comet itself, this massive rift that tore through 3,000 miles of the world, which is from whence all evil things came, apparently. So this is all in fresco on the ceiling. And up ahead of you, you see the king, King Ivran, sitting with his throne, on his throne with his crown very slightly askew. He sits there and watches as everybody comes, and his advisors are all standing behind him. As the whole parade of the Daughters of Twilight, the matriarchs of the elves, this elven order of knights, paladins, and clerics, you all move down through the chamber and stop to a halt. And there's this blast of horns and instruments. The drums stop, and everything is silent. And Iolanthra Imdrael, the seneschal of Vaingate Temple Solanor, steps up ahead of everybody else and breaks rank. She goes up in front of King Ivran. One of her attendants brings forth a chest. In fact, let's say 2 of her attendants, because chests are quite big and hard to carry. So 2 attendants come up in front, and they put this chest in front of her, and she says, "Greetings, my king, most high and noble lord, high king of Sidarhael to Larathion. I, Iolanthra Imdrael, present to you these gifts on behalf of the Order of the Temple of the Daughters of Twilight, in the name of Petrichor Skyhammer, our founder, and in the name of Sehenine Moonbow, goddess of the world. We bring you these gifts as homage from the Daughters of Twilight, from Vaingate." And the king stands up very slowly. You notice he looks a little bit sickly, in fact, as he begins to walk down the steps. He falters slightly. "Ah, Imdrael, you come once more before me. And you offer gifts. What have you come to supplicate yourselves with this time, I wonder?" And he steps down another step. He's leaning on a staff, actually. A scepter. He gets down another step. "My lord, I bring you artifacts. Artifacts that were, in fact, named in the Treaty of Vaingate. Things that you have requested for your kingdom. These are offerings of peace, my lord. Offerings to your majesty to maintain the alliance that we have held for so long, for centuries between us." "Ah, I see. So you have come to offer me peace. How kind of you, Imdrael." He takes another step. "Very well. Let me see." And he takes the end of the scepter and he flings the box open. And there is this shining gleam that fills the room, like the shimmering light of gold and jewels that shines across his face as he looks down into the box. And he literally, for a moment, you see him actually lose focus on you guys and on the scenario, and he's literally taken by whatever is in that box. The back of it is facing you. It seems that our alliance shall continue. Imdrael. And he closes the box, and he ushers his servants down, and they take the box away. Very well. We shall feast again this time. Begin the proceedings, he announces, and so things begin to move again, and the procession then is taken on down through to a huge hall eating chamber. And a feast begins there. At that point, Haemil, just before you guys are ushered to some tables, Haemil comes up to you. Miss Talandaran, my lady, Talandaran. Perhaps
Yes.
now is a good time for you and your companions to break away from the feast. Follow me.
Okay.
Aye, that's a good idea.
And he takes you off down into a hallway. Everyone's busy right now. I think I know a way we can get to... Do you have any... Are you able to sneak? Are you Mr. Fogdar, that's a very heavy armor. Are you going to be able to sneak in that?
No. That's a no.
Oh dear. He looks at you, Gudael. Gudael, you look like you're about to say something.
No, I was just thinking about all the armor that I'm also wearing.
Right. Out of game, do you still have Pass Without Trace?
I don't think I do.
Oh no.
Who had that one?
Did you not? You never had that?
Oh
I
no,
don't
that
think I
was
did.
that was Caitlin during our intro game, which had that really cool staff that just buzzed out past the trace.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Just kept
That
spitting
was
it out.
so good.
Right. Very well. Okay. In any case, you are moving through the hallways. These big hallways with lacquered walls, and you get to a point where you can see there's a pair of double doors, and Haemil says those are the doors to the lockout, the lockups. We need to get to there, but there's guards. Perhaps one of you can convince them that we need to get past. Do you see the guards there at the corner?
Aye.
You can just see one of their pikes sticking out from around the corner.
Would be a plausible reason to need to go back there. Could I be fetching something for
For the
Iolantha?
feast. Aye, for an Iolantha, that's not bad.
What could it be though?
Well, what's back there?
Do you know Haemil?
What? I'm sorry. What's back
Do you-
where?
Come on,
What's
lad, pay
beyond?
attention.
Well, this is where the Black Guard keep. They have a lockup here. We need to get the access to the uniforms. Is that not what you requested?
Yes.
Or do
I
you wish
see.
to abandon that plan now? And I can take you directly to the passageway.
We don't
Take us
want-
directly to the passageway.
Aye.
Do you think that is?
I don't want to create a tussle here.
Oh, very well. Very well. We'll go the other way then.
Russell,
Yes, sir.
can I make an insight check to see if I can ascertain how Brixton's feeling right about now? Because we're in the belly of the beast.
The belly of the beast, indeed you are. You can do that for sure. For sure. Mr. Brixton is...
Oh, dog, that's... Despite my advantage, it's a double 4.
Oh, what?
I think he's just cool. I cannot determine any distress on his face whatsoever.
Out of game, I am curious to know how you're feeling, Mr. Brixton. This is an interesting scenario.
Brixton is looking at it this way. He's about to pull off the biggest heist of his life. The biggest.
Even bigger than the last one.
Even bigger than the
last one.
Right.
Right under the nose of his deadliest enemy.
Right.
Ah. So he's all swagger and...
So he's concentrating on that at the moment.
Okay, so this is a whole other level. I mean, there's one thing stealing millions of piles of gold from underneath the city of Vaingate, under the
dead
noses
giants,
of the
no less.
nobles, the wizards of the Barakyle Envoy, the Queen Claresca of Sidarhael. You stole all that gold and got away on a ship, away from Vorbus Dalranaz, the Inquisitor of the Barakyle wizards. You managed to get away with that. So now
I'm going to try and steal the keys to the kingdom.
Well, certainly the keys to the suffering. Just for the audience's sake, we'd just like to tell you that Barry tells us he's retiring every week, several times. So that's a running joke.
I do quite like that for Brixton. You know, it's a hero without a cause until the next one.
Right. Right.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. All right then.
All right. One moment, please. I am trying to check a thing.
Push the buttons harder. It'll make it meme.
That worked. Okay, cool. Very well. So you head on through to through the palace. It's very lush, as you can imagine. You see some more guards. Eventually, you get to the point where there is a doorway that you need to take, and there are 2 guards waiting outside of it. And Haemil looks down at the floor for a minute. I was not anticipating these guards, madam. We'd need to go this way. Perhaps you can talk to them. Or perhaps we can create a distraction. I'm not sure which.
Are they red and gold, red plumed and gold leafed?
They are not.
I guess we could just show them. Get the fuck out of the way. That's a thought.
You suggest that to Gudael and Milford, I assume?
Well, these gentlemen don't look particularly unwanted. So can we just flash out a nifty piece of paper at them and they just bugger off?
We could give it a try. Sounds like a non-violent way of getting past them, which would be preferable.
Better to keep it quiet, eh?
Yes, the walls have ears.
What do you think, Erdan?
What's their braid? What's the braid on their shoulders?
You realize that they are medium grade guards. They're not even black guards. They're palace guards.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. All right. Let's do this then.
We're walking up and just flashing a bit of paper at them.
All right, so you're going to walk up and flash your seal at them. Halt, says one of the guards as you approach.
Aye.
And he steps forward, and they bring down their halberds in traditional halberd bringing down style. You know what I'm talking about? 1 second while I pull up their names. Dun, 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 dun.
Boris and Loris.
They are, in fact, not Boris and Loris.
Oh, we're so close, though.
They are, in fact, not. All right. They step forward. Halt. Who are you?
Greetings. My name is Gudael Dala Talandaran, and I have business yonder.
What business yonder might you have past these doors, madam?
Well, it's somewhat confidential. Classified, I suppose you could say, and I'm here on orders of my father.
Oh, I see. Do you have these orders with you, madam?
They're on this piece of paper, I believe.
Very well. May I see the seal?
And she shows him the seal.
I'm going to get you to do a persuasion check, Gudael.
Oh dear.
Does anyone wish to help her?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So you can have
Which one of
advantage.
us has got better persuasion?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. As long as somebody's helping her, she gets advantage.
Yeah, go.
Oh, whoops. I accidentally rolled that instead of...
Okay, well, an 18, you can roll another dice just in case you get a 20.
Just in case. No, that's not a 20.
Oh no.
No, that's okay. So you got an 18 with your advantage. All right. And they step aside and they open the doors, just like that. They step aside with all
Thank
the
you
pomp
kindly,
and ceremony.
gentlemen.
He nods, and they leave the doors open for you to pass through. Can I get you to make a perception check as you go through?
Yeah. Of course.
Of course.
It's a tasty 23.
A tasty 23.
Oh shit, double 23s.
Wow.
Come on, Milford.
Get a 23,
You see-
otherwise it doesn't matter.
23!
Oh no, no way!
23!
How did you know it was going to be a double 23? How did you know
Triple
that?
23!
23. Gudael, what's yours?
23.
Did you all roll 23?
We all.
Yes!
That is absurd.
Okay, so legally you have to tell us your entire plot line of Sidarhael. You have to tell us where everything is, where it's hidden, and how Adrik can go and punch God.
Okay, so the plot is that no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. What I am going to do, however, is tell you that all three of you notice that there is a ledger next to the door on a small table with a quill, and that as you pass through, they step to the ledger, and one of them starts filling in details, which you can assume is about this encounter between you. So there is a record that you came this way. So you head on through and you get to an archway, and as you're going this way you begin to hear the sound, which at first sounds like water in the distance, and it gets louder and louder and louder, and you begin to approach an archway in the distance now, the end of this hallway, and the archway, you step out onto what appears to be a lacquered wooden floor in a narrow corridor that turns hard left from where you've just come out. The sound gets even louder as you come out through this entranceway. There is a little roof over top of you that goes out like 5 feet, like an awning, and there's material like silk hung like a banner in front of you. And you can see sunlight coming through it, like it's lit outside. You realize that you're actually outside of the building, outside. And all that's keeping you from the outside world is in fact this sheet of silk. To the left, when you look down to the left, is another archway, and all you can see is water pouring past that archway at this point. And there's a little bit of space behind the water with what looks like a footpath.
Oh, call me crazy, but I believe that there's the waterfall.
So as you begin to put this together, you realize that you're standing on some kind of external ledge high up on a cliff, and there is a banister on the side, on the drop side, and that banister is covered from ceiling to floor with a sheet of cloth to create the illusion of a wall there, but it's kind of blowing in the wind and buffeting in the wind. And you can see on the back side of it, there's the symbols of the Arathani bloodline written out in full in massive, massive emblems.
So we're standing behind it then. And
You're standing behind it, yeah.
Sort of like standing behind a billboard.
Yeah, exactly. You're standing behind like a silk billboard, between the billboard and the cliff, basically on a pathway that heads along the edge of the cliff towards the waterfall. Does that make sense, or is it too convoluted?
I think I've got it.
I think you got it. Okay. Yeah, you got an image anyway. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Go along it.
Okay, so you head along there, and you get to the archway, and now you can feel water spitting on you as you get to that archway, and you are right up close to that massive waterfall that, certainly for Gudael, you've known it all your life. And for those of you that have been in the city for just a few days, it has been a very powerful icon of the city in the time that you've been here. It's one of the most obvious features of the city, this waterfall that sort of falls through multiple tiers of the city and keeps going down and down and then out the other side from the top of the mountain. And so you're now on a little pathway that leads behind the waterfall. And does anybody here think their character might have any type of vertigo?
I think Adrik is uncomfortable because he spent his entire life underground, so he's definitely not happy with this.
Right, and wearing full plate is a little bit disturbing too, because you're kind of a little bit off balance.
Yeah.
With that.
I do have my runes of Featherfall, so it's like keeping me from panicking too much.
Right.
But it's not feeling very good.
Right. Fair enough.
Gudael would have heard rumors growing up about this sort of thing, that there's something by the waterfall, so she's quite excited. This is like a girlhood sort of fantasy, I guess, of exploring around the waterfall.
Right. Okay. Okay, so you get to this thing. There's no ledge now. There's no banister now. There's no handle. There's no rail. It's about 4 foot wide.
Okay.
And the drop is about 800 feet.
All right.
Oh, good. That looks mighty. That looks mighty safe.
Stay close to the wall.
Brixton, hold my hand. I wouldn't want you to fall.
I won't be falling.
Well, just in case, if you're holding my hand, then I'll be able to pull you back up.
Hold your other hand if it's all right, Adrik.
I just so you don't fall. Good, Dala. Thank you kindly.
Okay. I'm gonna get athletics checks from each of you. If you want to hold hands, you can have an advantage. And this is going to be very hard to fail, to be honest with you. But if you roll a 1, there could be problems. There will be complications if you roll a 1.
I'll be the one to roll the 1. I'll beat you.
All right.
With advantage, if we all roll 1s, what are the chances of that?
So Milford,
My bonus for athletics is 0.
wow.
I'm a
Milford
bit
doesn't
nervous.
even need advantage, so he rolled a 22. Gudael is a 16 with advantage. And Adrik, what did you roll?
17 with
17.
advantage.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so you easily move along here without too much trouble. You find that you start getting used to it pretty quickly, Adrik. And you get to this point where you realize that, in fact, Adrik, can you make a... No.
Wisdom saving throw?
No, wait.
Okay.
You go underneath the waterfall. You get all the way underneath the waterfall, and you see this statue, this blackened stone statue, that is some sort of creature, quite tall, but the water over the years has misshapen it, and it's almost completely unrecognizable. And you see in the distance about 120 feet, maybe more than that, maybe 200 feet away is another statue very similar on the other edge of the waterfall. And these are basically just behind the curtain of the waterfall, one on each edge.
Mm-hmm. Can I roll a... Oh God, would this be an insight or an investigation to see if I can figure out what they might be?
I think it would be an investigation check.
Okie dokie. That's a 12. I've no fucking clue. It's rocks and water.
Yep. I mean, definitely they look like they were carved at some point. This one, you can't tell what it is. It's just too worn. And what you can tell, Adrik, is that it must be many thousands of years old.
So from its age, could I determine that it's likely pre-elf, closer to Astorian?
It could be closer to the cusp of that time, but you don't know whether it would be Astorian. You don't think it's big enough to be Astorian, to be honest. It's kind of humanoid-sized.
Okay, that's fair.
For those of you that don't know, in the audience, the Astorian Empire were the giants. And they predated the elves here. Okay, so now you're faced on your left-hand side is just a cliff. And you travel along it till you get to the other side of the waterfall, at which point you find the other one of these statues.
Can I roll an investigation?
Sure.
15?
15. Gudael, as you're investigating it, you notice that there's one part of it that's less kind of ruined, shall we say, as the rest of it, and that is, it seems to have claws instead of hands that it's resting upon, and you realize that it's some sort of four-footed creature, that it's sitting upright, and it may even have had a tail.
Uh-huh. Do you see that?
As the head itself is just completely wasted. The rest of it's all just gone, like it's just somebody's dripped acid on it and it's just slipped away. It's eroded. That's probably the correct term.
It's interesting, but it's too wasted a way to tell.
Yes, but it's got a claw hand.
Does it?
Look,
Oh,
yes, look.
So it does.
What on earth could it be? I have been. A gargoyle?
You know, if it's here, hidden behind this waterfall, I'd take a bet. If I hadn't just spent all my money on this lovely new armor, I'd take a bet that we may or may not find what inspired it below.
Oh. Well then.
Pray we don't.
I look around at Russell to see if it's any kind of door opener.
Okay, can you make an investigation check, please, Barry?
Yeah. It would be a bit obvious, though. 22.
22. Miraculously enough, you find that there is some flat panels, kind of. You notice some cracks in the wall behind it, and there's a flat panel that the thing itself is sitting on, despite the fact that it's covered in stones and rubble at this point. It's all wet water, it's all worn, a lot of sand, but there's this little flat area, and when you press your hand on it, this door slides silently open. And the minute it does, you can all make perception checks.
Oh, boy. I got myself in trouble.
Oh hell yeah! That's I'm
21.
rolling hot today, except for I need to determine the emotional state of my compatriots.
Oh, I noticed nothing.
Neither do I. 8.
Okay, so
I'm too busy being impressed with that Milford knew that there was a door there.
Right.
Happy with himself.
So Adrik, the reason why the other two don't notice the sound that you're about to hear is because of the sound of the waterfall, which is literally roaring. It's a 200-foot wide waterfall, and you're standing right underneath it, like directly underneath it, and it's just this huge noise that takes up all of your perception. But Adrik, you hear another noise coming from behind this wall, from down this hallway, from the dark. This
That's no good.
It's just continuous. It doesn't stop.
Oh, it's a
I've only got so much breath.
right. Well, fair
it
enough.
just
What are you talking about?
There's a roaring inside this door you just opened, Brixton.
I'll just...
You're like, there's a roaring inside this door, Brixton. You know.
I don't want to peek my microphone though.
What you say?
can-
I
There's
didn't
a
quite
roaring
hear.
inside this hall. Can you
A
not hear
roaring?
it?
There's a roaring outside the hall. Are you sure it's not the same one?
There's a roaring inside it. Come. Adrik's gonna start trying to pull him in.
Okay, I come in.
All right, so you step inside it. The waterfall sound dims somewhat. You know, a good 80%
Now, what
actually.
did you say? I didn't quite get it.
Gudael, do you step inside too?
Well, yeah, if they're going in, I
Just
might
hang out
as
on
well
the
as well.
Stay here. Mist is good for my hair.
What did you say? I didn't quite get it.
It's not surprising you couldn't hear it out there. There's some roaring in here. It's quite. Can't you hear that?
Out of game. If you guys are all stepped inside through this secret door into this room, it is a chamber. There's pillars on either side of it. It's a little bit bigger on the inside as you get through the
Russell,
5-foot gap. Yes.
sorry to interrupt you. Milford just wants to say something.
Well, I just want to go and powder my nose. So if you want to say something, that's a good
I
time.
can't hear you. There's a roaring coming from this door. You know that?
I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Good point.
Well, you couldn't hear me out there. And now we get jumped by a fucking manticore.
No, shall I go in carefully, like?
Aye.
Okay, let's get going then.
I quite love the image of like a Brixton Scooby-Doo walking in there.
Yeah, definitely Scooby-Doo like.
Is Francis your Scooby-Doo?
Very Francis-like, yeah. Okay.
All right then. So how's everyone feeling thus far?
I don't know, but I'm feeling kind of adrenaline pumped, you know.
Aye. Well, I thought you were. This is kind of your territory.
It is kind of my territory. I feel back home.
Not so sure I did the right thing by declaring myself to those guards back there, though.
Oh, don't worry. If we can get near that book thing, I'll steal it.
We could give him a permanent case of memory problems.
Now, just in case anything happens, I would like to roll initiative.
Of course you would.
Oh, that means something's gonna happen.
Doesn't mean anything of the sort, Barry Tahira.
Just so. I can tell.
So Adrik is a 3.
Oh, now,
Gudael is a
let's roll
9.
my initiative.
Barry, what's your initiative?
Can you roll my initiative?
I can.
Oh,
roll.
no, I can. I'm here.
You found it. Excellent.
Bloody thing's not working properly again. I was here, and now I am. Okay,
I once was lost and now I'm found.
that's the one. Okay,
19.
Homeward
Nice.
bound.
I'm
Okay.
glad.
Yeah,
Okay.
good idea.
Yeah, let's get our stuff on.
All right.
I'm gonna put the rope around my waist, like.
Alright, I've got my Mace of Disruption, and
Mace
I'll...
of Disruption. Dun, dun, dun.
I'm gonna get my swords,
Yeah, longsword.
my armor.
Golden crap.
Uh-huh. 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 So at this point too, you can all roll a perception check, barring Adrik, who... This is, for you, Adrik, this sound has gotten louder. It's really beginning to pierce your skull, like it's vibrating your skull.
So it's a constant roar. Like, would you like constant as in like a wind tearing through a tunnel or like a drill or something? Not that they have drills here.
It's like both of those things combined.
Okay.
And it's not coming through your ears.
It's just ringing through the rock.
It's ringing through the astral.
9.
Thanks, I hate that.
I know you do.
Oh
9.
god, I'm gonna get gut punched by a fucking titan.
Well, I never said that.
No, you may as well have.
Okay, so Milford, you seem to be kind of immune to this sound. But Adrik, you've heard it, and you're going to make a wisdom saving throw. What did you get, Gudael?
21.
21. Okay, you've heard it. You're going to make a wisdom saving throw too.
Oh man, it was sitting on 19 for a moment. God,
And then it went 4.
it just went to 4. Ah, the universe has decided to curb stop me today.
Right.
Is this a charmed type of thing? Because
Oh,
I've got
don't worry. It won't be the curve that stumps
Do you have
It'll be the
advantage against
monster.
being charmed, or are you immune?
I
to
do.
that?
I have advantage of being charmed, and magic can't put me to sleep.
Okay, so you can roll a second dice, Gudael.
Oh, okay, it's cool. So
Oh.
y'all get ready for Adrik to start swinging that hammer at you.
All right, that's an 18 then.
So your second one was an 18?
No, my first one was an 18. My second one was a 10.
Oh, okay. So you get an 18. All right. So you make your saving throw.
Okay.
Adrik, did you make your save? What did you roll? Was it that was a
I rolled a 4, my guy.
roll of 4? Was it a natural 1?
No, it was a 3 plus 1.
Okay. All right.
Could have been worse.
Adrik, you like immediately you've basically start walking down the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
You're just going.
How am I feeling?
Adrik.
A little bit kind of drawn to whatever is down here. This noise is tugging you, pulling you. You're feeling kind of whatever is here, you must find it, and you must find it immediately.
Can I hear Brixton behind me, or is he just drowned out by the sound and my desire?
The waterfall drops off the further in you go, so now it's down to about 20%, so it's not anywhere near as loud. You can hear Milford's footsteps and Gudael, wherever she is.
Adrik,
Go.
where you going, lad?
I need to find it.
No, you don't.
No, I
You need to
find
take your
it.
time. Yeah,
No.
you need take your time.
No, Brixton, don't touch me. Get away. I need to
don't-
find it.
Oh no, come on, lad. Don't be like that. Don't be like that. Let's go down. Let me go in front. I can
Wondering if
tell
I
you
can
what's
put
No.
that
there.
there. No, that's
Yes, let Milford go in front, Adrik.
Yeah,
We'll all find it together.
yeah. We'll go
Okay.
in like a happy wee family.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I have to find it. I need.
Oh no, we'll find it. Don't you worry.
Do you know what it is, Adrik?
No, but I want it.
Oh.
It wants it.
I.
Okay.
It-
I don't
it's
know
t-
what
it's
you're talking about.
calls
There's
to
nothing's
me.
happening to me. Okay, let's.
So is anyone trying to be quiet, or are you just like, there's no chance of that, is there?
I feel like Adrik is throwing caution to the wind. He's just barreling along. I think that makes the most sense to me.
So Gudael and I guess Milford are probably just desperately trying to keep up with him and keep him under control.
Okay. All right. So you're just sort of talking to him, and you're asking him questions about this feeling that he's got.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's this
And
feeling?
to be fair, Gudael, you can sense this drawing feeling too, but it doesn't have control of you the way it does of Adrik right now. Adrik, you can make another wisdom saving throw now that it's like a good turn later.
I love 6. I'm gradually gaining control.
Yeah, no. Okay, so nothing's really changed for you there. Okay, fair enough.
If only this was poison.
Okay. One moment, please. I just have to quickly read a description of something. It couldn't.
Yep.
It's definitely not a monster.
Okay.
Definitely not a monster. And you're definitely not about to get surprised.
That sounds like someone who's about to murder me would say.
It does, doesn't it?
If I ask you what it is, you have to tell me. Otherwise, it's entrapment.
Okay. First of all, everybody takes 5 points of necrotic damage.
What? There's no save? Nothing?
There's no saving throw.
Holy shit! All right.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty shocking. This is a scary fucking thing. Trust me.
Man, I
I
can't
thought
wait for
you
this to be
said
the
you
to
were
the
gonna
to the
be
Leith and
fun.
Edryn show.
Right, so you take 5 points of necrotic damage, then a massive fist of blackness just comes out of the darkness and thwacks at you, Adrik. What's your armor class?
23.
Okay, it misses you. It hits your armor, but it doesn't do any damage to you.
Is this thing from where the desire is coming from,
No,
or is it in the way?
it's in the way.
Okay, so I know how Adrik's gonna respond to this thing now.
Right, but wait, there's more.
Oh, good.
Make a Constitution saving throw, because now
No.
you are looking at a creature. It's humanoid, and it has this kind of raggedy kind of robe over its head, and it's got this very almost demonic looking face, and it opens its mouth and it just goes like sort of like a 2-foot long slit opens up on the front of its head, and its dark pools of eyes look at you and draw you in. It's one of the most terrifying things you've ever seen in your life. And you're making a Constitution saving throw against its gaze.
Yep. Con save of 18.
18. Okay, you save.
Holy
you
shit.
are going to take half as much damage.
Oh boy.
Okay, that's mixed. That's a mixed bag.
For whom?
27 points of damage, Adrik.
Oh, is that all?
Oh wait, no wait, half of that.
Oh, good. Okay.
So that's
13?
what, 13
14?
points of damage. Yeah,
Okay.
say 13 points of damage.
Damn. Okay.
How'd you like them apples?
I didn't.
You didn't like
They
them?
tasted bitter.
They tasted bitter. All right. Well, now it's Milford's turn.
Oh,
So Milford, you've seen this thing step around the corner, woof, take the swipe at Adrik, and miss. Bounces off his armor, basically. He shields, I imagine. Are you using a shield right now?
Yeah, I think my default when I'm walking into a place is a shield in one arm, warhammer in the other.
Okay. And then you'll switch to the big hammer if you...
I switch to the big hammer if I need to get rid of it quickly.
Okay.
This feels like an attrition battle. Oh wait, I'll figure it out later.
All right. Okay, so fair enough. Milford, what are you doing? You're second in the... you're first in the initiative order, but... and the room... The corridor is now opened out into a sort of 10-foot room. 10 foot wide, 20 foot long. Little alcoves along the side of it. Everything looks like it's made of black obsidian.
okay. Alright, I'm gonna find a place to hide. Look for a way to get round it.
Okay, so you're gonna use your you want to use cunning action to
Yeah.
to make a hide.
Yep,
Okay, cool. Okay, so you're gonna make a stealth check.
yeah, I'm gonna try and take, how close is Gudael to me?
She's right behind you.
Okay, I'm grabbing Gudael as well and hiding her as well.
Not really possible.
Okay.
What are you doing? No.
In fact, to be honest with you, Barry, the only place you can hide is behind the creature at this point. So
I'm
what?
gonna try and get behind the creature.
Right, so you can make an athletics check to try and, or an acrobatics check to
Yeah.
jump behind it, and at that point you make a stealth check. And that will be-
Athletics.
right, this will be your action and your bonus action.
Okay. Athletics. Ah, good. Come on, 19.
All right, 19. All right, you dive past it. Boof, 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 boof. All right, I'm going to throw some terrain up here.
What's up?
Unfortunately, I can't seem to have enough space to have the dice on the screen. In fact, you know what? Maybe I can. I'm going to do this. Let's see if this works.
Yo, I'm still reeling from that barrage. My God. Russell, for Michael's sake, what's this thing called? I just want to look at a picture of it.
If you just want to have a look at a picture of it, without
Yeah,
looking
I'll
up the
sc-
stats...
I wouldn't dare. I like the mystery, but I just want to know what Adrik's seeing.
Okay, it's called a... I'll spell it for you. B-O-D-A-K. Bodak.
B-O-D, Bodak. Okay. I got a Bodak Yellow by Cardi B. Oh, that's a fucking atrocious looking thing. My God, I hate this.
Right.
Has it got anything on its back?
From the images, it's basically nude except for like a sack over its head.
It's like a hunchback with a sack over its head and this freaky demonic head face thing with this massive slit for a mouth.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
kind of the way
I don't know what I'd compare it to. It's quite unique. It's got like a relatively plain face. That's just these sunken eyes and just that awful. You know what? Actually, have you seen the Harry Potter movies? It looks kind of like a Dementor, but imagine it's got like this really granity body sticking out from underneath a much too small cloak.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about right. Nice, good job, Michael. 10 out of 10. You can not have a beer tonight because it's dry July. But
Yep,
whatever.
it's a Bodak.
Nice.
Yep, Super Kawaii Desu Princess says it's like a creature you would see in your nightmares.
It is exactly my sleep paralysis demon.
Right.
How's it going, George? Oh, nice to see you pre-sleep.
Okay, so athletics has put you over here, Milford. I don't know if you can see the screen. That's
yeah.
Gudael at the back. The Bodak. I think I can find a better mini for you, Bodak. All right, there you go. There you go.
Yeah,
So-
what's the other thing you said I had to roll, Russell?
So now you're going to make a stealth check, Milford.
Down.
Yep.
Oh, crumpy my bananas. Oh, shit.
10. Okay, you do not make your stealth check. However, you are behind it.
Yes.
And Adrik is in combat with it, in melee combat, which would give you the opportunity to make a...
Backstab.
Yes.
I'm going for that. That's what I was working on.
Unfortunately for you, as you swing past it, you give it an opportunity attack.
I can't use my that thing.
That thing?
Oh, it means you get away from the person without getting a stab in the back.
Oh, you disengage.
Yeah, disengage.
You've used up your... You've already used your bonus action to get where
Okay.
you are.
Okay, cool.
What's your armor class, Milford Brixton?
It's 28.
28? I don't think so.
Oh, 16.
16. Okay. 16.
I'm dead right out.
You better
But
hope
yeah,
not.
it just did 27 damage to me just by yelling.
Right.
This is a scary thing.
Yeah, it just got super mad and was like, "Nah, dog, you're in my house now. Get the hell out. You don't pay rent here,
Yep.
dwarf ass."
Good thing you have 49 hit points.
Yeah, good thing I'm the tank.
Okay, so you start off by taking 4 points of damage, plus then the necrosis sets in for another 8 points of damage. So you take 12 points of damage, Milford Brixton.
Okay.
Alright, that is the end of your turn, unfortunately. Because you
Okay.
used your action to do two things. You
So
used your
I'm
action and your
down
bonus action.
to...
So you've taken 12 points of damage. Boof, you're down to 16 from 28. Okay. At which point, it is Gudael's turn, I believe.
So Milford's down 12,
Yeah.
and Adrik's down
18.
18. Right.
I'm probably less in dire need than Barry for now.
Right. Okay. So I'll cast a Cure Wounds on Barry. Oh, wait, I have to touch him, and he's on the other side of the thing. And
Yeah, you won't be able to touch him from where you are. I mean, you could use your 15, you could use 30 feet of movement to get to him. 5, 10, 15, 20, you could get to him, but that would put you, that would make you
Yeah.
move past the Bodak, and the Bodak would get an opportunity attack if you do that.
yeah, I'm a little bit. I think maybe I'll just pull up my spiritual weapon.
Okay. That's a bonus
And-
action if I'm not wrong.
Oh, that is a bonus action, isn't it? I can't
That's
hit him
great
with...
though.
Yeah, I'll pull that up.
Yeah,
Alright.
you can hit and summon on the same turn, can't you?
Yes. Yes, you can.
Haven't you got that prayer you can heal from a distance?
Healing word, I think. Or,
I don't know if I've got healing word at the moment. Oh, I've got prayer of healing. Yes, okay, I'll do that one.
prayer of healing. All right. Roll your
Yeah.
prayer of healing business.
Ooh,
Okay.
22.
22.
Damn,
okay.
good job.
Nice. Okay, so you heal Milford right up back to full.
Yeah, and I've got
Nice.
my
thing up.
Right, spiritual
blue
weapon.
sword,
So you're going to
yes.
make an attack with this blue shiny sword that you've summoned from the ether.
If I'm allowed,
Of
yes.
course, yes. So what did you roll?
All right. I rolled a total of 22.
To hit.
Yes.
Okay, that's a hit. You can do some damage.
I'll wait till you're done.
5?
5, okay, 5 points damage. Excellent.
So not to be a huge pedant, but I was a crit roll today, and I recall Laura Bailey using Prayer of Healing, so I just wanted to check if I was right with this. The description on it says up to 6 creatures of your choice that you can see within range each gain hit points equal to what she rolled.
And that's Prayer of Healing, and that's what she just cast?
Yeah, well,
Yep.
Okay,
Oh,
well,
what did I do? Did I do it wrong?
Did you do Prayer of Healing?
I did, yes.
okay, so
so
you should have healed Adrik also then.
Oh, okay.
Thank you,
That's
Gudael.
good. Oh, you're very welcome.
even more better, lovely.
More better, okay. Excellent. Okay, so now you're both healed back to full, I assume.
Yes.
Nice. Excellent. At which point, Adrik, it's your turn.
Fantastic. I'm going to start with a bonus action by doing invoking my frost rune. So
Okay.
that just gives me a +2 on my ability checks that do strength and con. So it should help me if it screams again.
All right.
And I'm going to swing twice with my warhammer as part of my for attack boy time.
Okay.
So first attack, that is a 19.
19 hits.
Fantastic. So smack him with that. That's a total of 7 for my first hit. And go away, dice thing. Lovely. And second hit, that is a 14.
14. All right. And this was all bludgeoning, right?
Yeah. With my non-magical hammer.
Okay. So what was your total damage?
Wait, does the 14 hit?
That's 14 misses.
Okay, so total is 7 then.
Okay. Okay. Excellent. Can you make a perception check, Adrik?
Can do. That is a total of... it's a gentleman's 20.
Gentleman's 20. Very well. When you hit it with your hammer, you strike it, and certainly it penetrates its flesh, but nowhere near as far as you thought it was going to. You certainly didn't smash it anywhere near as much damage as you were expecting when you struck it. You thought it would buckle from the strike, and it glances off its shoulder and it kind of looks over at you for a moment.
Why, that's how you want to play it then.
Right, at which point
And
it turns back to you. Now, have you finished your attacks?
That's it, yeah. That's the end of my turn.
Okay. All right then. Everybody takes 5 points of necrotic damage.
Damn, again?
Yep. It just automatically does this every round if you're within 30
Damn.
feet of it.
What a nasty beastie.
It's pretty mean, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, now it turns its gaze back to you, Adrik, and screams. You make your Constitution saving throw.
Yep. That is a... Oh, thank God. That's a total of 23 with
Okay,
my rune.
You succeed. 10. You take 6 points of damage, psychic damage.
That's the 6 halved?
That is after it's been halved.
Okay, cool.
So that's the total.
Cool.
Okay, at which point it's going to take a swing at you. Okay, it tries to swing at you, Adrik, but it stumbles. And it steps to the side of you and it gives you an opportunity attack.
Oh, hell yeah. Could I make this opportunity attack with my Hammer of Thunderbolts?
You would have to take that out and that would be an action.
Okay, cool. Then I'll just smack it with my Warhammer.
All right.
That's a 19 to hit.
That hits. Yep.
Amazing. That's a 13.
All right. Again, you don't feel it doing as much damage as you would have expected. It seems to be doing about half as much damage as you would expect it to be doing at this point. Milford, your turn.
Okay, Can you hear me?
Yes. Are you going to take a? You going to do a backstab?
When it stumbles, I do a backstab.
Okay. Well, when it stumbles, actually, you two will get an opportunity attack
Huzzah!
because you were within range of it. So that's nice.
Okay, hang on. Short swords.
This is just one attack. You don't get two attacks with an opportunity attack. Just so you know.
Okay, no, good. Oh. 21.
21 hits.
And it does
Why is that not popping up properly in the... does
9
points of
damage.
Okay. 9 damage. Very good. Now, you two, Milford, you can make a perception check to see whether or not you realize that you're only doing half damage.
Perception. Can you do that for me, please, Russ?
I certainly can. Perception check. Here we go. And it's a big fat 2. Rolls up to 5.
No, I don't
so
notice.
5. You don't notice. Yep. Okay, but now it is your actual attack. So now you get to do a proper attack against it. This is going to be your short swords again, but you have advantage at this point.
Yeah.
Russell, do you want me to take care of Barry's sheet so you can focus on the world?
If you can, if you don't mind doing that, yeah. I
No,
mean, just
absolutely not.
when Barry is not actually... I want to give Barry the chance to roll his own dice whenever he can, but if he calls for it, then just make a roll for him.
Not a problem. I'll load him up now.
14.
14. 14 unfortunately misses. Was that with advantage, though, is my question?
No, it wasn't with
All right,
advantage.
so roll a second one to see if you can hit again.
Okay. 26.
26. Well, that definitely hits with a 26. Yeah, that you smack it.
Okay.
All right, so now you're going to do damage with your short sword.
Yeah. Damage with my short sword. 23.
Oh, that
damn.
was a 2 hit, not a damage. But that can
Sorry,
be that can be your second attack if you like.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so now you're going to do damage with your short sword first.
Short sword 4.
4. Really? Okay, yeah, okay,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
that's what it says.
Okay. So that's actually rounded down to 2 points of damage because of the its immunities, its resistances.
Yeah.
So roll again with your extra damage. Oh, wait, and you also get backstab damage for this.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's going to be another
5.
3 points of damage, rounded up. And now your backstab dice.
That'd be 12.
Okay, which rounds down to 6.
Okay.
Okay, that's your attack, Milford. You stab the crap out of it as it moves past you, and at that point it begins to turn in your direction. However, it's Gudael's turn.
I will take aim at it with my spiritual weapon again. So
Okay.
send the blue sword
Yep.
at it.
Goes to try and stab at it with the spiritual, floating spectral blue sword.
And I believe I miss with an 11.
You do miss with an 11. Unfortunately, that was the point at which it was stumbling, and it stumbled out of the way by pure accident. Okay, you still have an action left?
Can I cast Bane on it?
You can. What does Bane do off the bat?
Whenever a target that fails the saving throw makes an attack roll or a saving throw before the spell ends.
Subtracts a
The tar-
d4.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's one action to cast it. Concentration for 1 minute. So that's important. It's a concentration spell.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Does that mean my spiritual weapon comes down?
Spiritual weapon is actually, I don't think, a concentration spell. You might want to just double check that, but I'm pretty sure it's not.
Though? Okay.
In any case, Bodak is going to make a saving throw. What was it? A Constitution?
Charisma saving.
Charisma save. That's right. Okay.
Super Kawaii Desu Princess says the spiritual weapon is not a con save.
Nice. Thank you very much.
Okay.
super kawaii princess.
Did I say con save? I meant concentration spell.
I think I knew what you meant.
Unfortunately, Bodak makes the save.
Ah. Dang
That's
it.
a shame. Never mind. But you did hit with the spiritual weapon, didn't you? Or you missed with it? You missed with it, didn't you?
I missed everything.
Pooh! All right. Adrik, your turn.
I'm going to become large and pull out my hammer of thunderbolts and start wailing on this boy.
Okay, so that's your action, is to switch weapons?
Yes.
'Cause you have to-
So that's the switching of weapons is the whole action.
You can drop your sword. The thing is, the Hammer of Thunderbolts, as far as I recall, was in the bag of holding.
We pulled it out before we.
Yeah, remember I told everybody to change.
That's right. I went to powder my nose.
Yes,
Yes.
you did.
Forgive me. That's why. In that case, I apologize. And
That's okay.
To make up for it, I'll give you advantage to hit with this attack, or your next attack.
Okay, cool. This is 24 on that one.
Okay,
That's
you hit.
2d6 plus 5. That is a 13, and I'll put my big boy damage on this one.
So the
That's
13 rounds down to 6.
Does my Hammer of Thunderbolts not count as magical?
Oh, hold on a minute. It's still bludgeoning. Oh, yeah, no, you're right. Okay, yep, good point. Okay, yeah, you hit it, and it feels satisfying. Crunch.
Brilliant.
You smack it up against the wall.
So that is I rolled my run. There's a total of 14 for that first hit because I got a 1 on that roll. And then Hammer of Thunderbolt, second swing. You're not gonna believe this is the 13.
13.
I got double 5s.
Wow. Okay, your second hit misses, unfortunately.
Okie dokie.
Okay, and it has turned to you, Barry. Milford Brixton.
No.
And Milford, you're going to make a Constitution saving throw. Do you know how to do that? I can do it for you.
Yeah, you do it for me. That way I can cry and do the bad news all at once.
Well, the good news is you just rolled a natural 20.
Oh.
So you only take half damage from the Bodak's roaring.
Okay, thank you.
Which adds up to 10, 14, 15, 16 divided by 2 is 8 points of psychic damage to Milford Brixton, which I will deduct. Boof. There we go. I should be letting you do this, shouldn't I,
Yeah.
Michael? Right,
That's
so-
okay. Have it. I'll make sure to get it next time.
Yeah, just remind me as well. Jump in there if you can. Okay, so that's that attack, but it also has a fist attack. So it's going to take this at you too, Milford. I just rolled a d20 and it was a natural 20.
Oh no.
Oops. So
I'm dead.
you might be dead. It could be all over for you now.
I mean, it's good at screaming, and maybe it's not good at smacking. Looks like a huge nerd.
So first of all, he takes 3 points of bludgeoning damage, Michael,
Yeah.
and then he takes.
Oh no! Sorry, Russell. It won't let me edit on it.
Oh, okay. 3 plus another 3 points of necrotic damage. So 6 points of damage. I'll do it.
I apologize.
6 points of. Okay, so Barry, you're down to 14 hit points from 28.
Jeez.
And like Acidia, i.e. our dear friend Catherine, says, "Go, Barry, go!" So yeah,
Thank you, Catherine.
yeah,
I'm doing my best.
doing his best. All right, so you've taken your damage from the Bodak. It's done with its round. It's actually your turn, Barry.
Okay. It's facing me now, eh?
It's facing you, but it's still engaged. Well, no, it's not, is it? He doesn't get a stealth attack if it's actually engaging him directly.
No.
Although one of
I
you is
wouldn't.
still in combat with it.
I'm still in
melee
combat
range.
with this guy.
I think
And
you
I just
still get
whacked
your
it quite
backstab
good.
damage. I think you still get to backstab it.
Okay.
So you can certainly make
Alright.
sword attacks.
Okay, here we go. One sword attack coming up.
Yep, go for your life. Oh, 13. Unfortunately, that misses.
Okay,
your
what
main
about the
attack.
other one?
All right, go for it. Dun, 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 dun. 20. Yeah, that hits. A gentleman's 20 hits. Roll your damage, please.
Yeah. Here we go.
Okay, 5.
5.
All right.
I've got to get a new pair of swords at some point.
So you've heard it. Not amazingly, but you've heard it.
Hey, does it have legs?
It does. It's a humanoid creature. Yeah. Don't forget to roll your backstab damage on top of that.
Okay, backstab damage. Oh, let's not forget that. Let's do the backstab.
Punish him.
10.
And
Okay. So,
Hey.
okay. All right. Gudael, it is your turn.
Alright, I would like to hit it with the Sacred Flame.
Ooh, okay, so it's just going to make a saving throw against that. It's a dex save, isn't it?
Yeah, Dex 13. And that's a 15
Yep.
if he doesn't make the saving
Oh, that
throw.
was 15 damage? Okay.
Yeah, that.
Yep,
Sorry,
it fails the dex.
I got
fails the-
excited.
No, it fails the dex check, and you do 15 damage. Okay, the sacred flame comes out of the ceiling and sort of forms in this shiny, bright, golden light, forming the shape of an axe as it drops upon its head and slams it down into the floor. And it just lays there and seems to wither away. You see its form begins to leach off it, and it sort of pours away from itself in this black smoky tendrils that run down the hallway back in the direction that Adrik is now picking up his hammer, putting it over his shoulder and moving in the direction of.
I've got to find it.
Adrik, you can make another saving throw.
Okay.
I think we found it,
Mother-
didn't we?
9.
It's getting
It's
closer.
gradually getting better.
Right.
Out of curiosity, like, can you tell me what the DC is?
It's not super high.
Okay. Man, what is with this today? Anyway, yeah.
You know, I'm starting to miss the other two. Really, I am. Oh, that hurt, man. Oh.
That was awful. I'll cast another, or utter another prayer of healing for us all, shall I?
Hey, that might be a good idea.
Okay. Say
Ah.
22?
Damn, you're
That's
rolling
nice.
hot tonight, dude.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, I'm just checking up what's ahead.
Another one.
What if there's another
Why are you
one?
so-
Your brother can stay where he's put.
Why would you say something like that? Okay, so you head around the corner. Are you going left or right at this point? Actually, this is the question.
I think I'm running ahead of these guys.
Let's follow Adrik, shall we?
Yeah. I think Gudael and Milford are probably jogging to keep up with Adrik.
So, Adrik, for your information, the sound seems to be coming equally from the left and the right of these two passages. So, which way would you like to go?
I think I'm gonna leave this one to chance. Can I just roll like a d4 and then the odds are left and evens are right?
Yeah, sure, you can do that.
4 going right.
You're going right. Okay. That's your left, and this is your right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So heading off right.
All right. Okay, so you head off. This guy's dead. You head off this
Hooray.
way. Who's second in the order down going this way?
I'm second.
Okay, so Milford's second.
Yeah.
And Gudael, you're at the
Don't
back.
want anything to happen to the nurse, you know.
Okay.
I was going to say so much for ladies first. That makes sense.
Oh, you can be first if you want. Did you see what we just fought? You know, you can be first.
No, your reasoning makes sense.
All right.
Dala, if you want to be first, you know, who might argue with you? You know, just go. Maybe it should be between us. Maybe. I would ask him, but he keeps bloody running.
Are you coming?
Who would have thought he'd be so hard to keep up with all that armor on it and being a dwarf?
You've seen Adrik's muscles.
True.
Boy jacked.
I mean.
Is he still giant?
At the moment, yeah, I'm giant. I'm giant
Okay.
for a minute.
Okay, this makes
Sorry.
sense then.
Which is, you know, that the weirdest thing about the
And then
giant
he
form.
shrivels up, you know.
Eventually, the weirdest thing about the giant form is it doesn't increase my walking speed, despite however large I become. It's always
Right.
25.
That's a bit bizarre, isn't it?
That's kind of stupid.
Ah,
Because you're taking longer strides, aren't you?
welcome Dungeons and Dipsheets to the stream. Thank you for coming. Wah, ha, ha.
Yeah, I think larger strides, but slower.
Okay,
I don't
let's
know.
go before our GM gets crazy.
Okay, so as you move up into this next area, I'm going to get you to roll your initiative again.
Yeah. Oh, what?
Yeah.
I know. I do nothing but complain, me.
Adrik,
I'm very distracted.
4. Gudael is a 20. Woody.
Oh, I'm a 6.
Milford is a 6. Okay. And these guys.
These guys?
Well,
These guys?
I did I say that? I didn't
You
mean
said
that.
guy. They said these, indicating the
More than
existence of
one.
something.
I always
And
say
guys,
that though.
indicating multiple.
That's just standard fare. That's just what I say.
That's
Is the
what
bo-
he's
was the
saying,
Bodak
just to
a
get
multiple?
out of it.
Don't presume anything. Don't presume anything.
I'm
Maybe
sorry, I'm
Barry,
presuming
maybe
an
they're
awful
nice
lot.
murderers.
These guys.
Maybe they're nice murderers. Who knows? Maybe they wish us fond farewells and they'll give us bread.
I'm an expert on murderers, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a nice murderer.
Okay, so as you're coming into this room,
Oh boy.
Oh, here we go.
everyone can make a perception check, please.
Oh,
Man, I'm big time distracted. 13.
Okay, Adrik, as you step into this room, you see this thing, this shadowy form, this shadowy humanoid form floating off the ground, tall almost to the ceiling with this crown on its head. And as it gets to that point, it reaches out for you with its sword. But Gudael, what was your perception check?
I got a 20.
You got a 20. Okay, you notice this too. In which case, let's say both of you. In fact, Milford, yours is 16. Okay, so let's say you guys get this far into the room then. When this thing comes out of the wall, it literally comes out of the wall, woof, and appears next to you. It's going for you, Adrik, with its sword. What's your armor class?
I'm holding my warhammer. Sorry, my hammer of thunderbolts. So it's a 21.
21. It hits you
Damn!
with a 25.
Damn!
You're going to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, so I think my frost rune is still in effect, so it's an extra +2 on that. That is a 15.
15. Okay. You save.
Oh my god! Thank God for that frost rune. Is my feeling coming from this thing, or is it just again in the way?
It's in the way.
Alrighty.
All right, now it is Gudael's turn.
All right. I would like to take a crack at it with my Mace of Disruption. I don't think my spiritual weapon is up anymore, is it?
No.
No. Okay. Well, I'm going to hit it with my mace, if I
Hit it with
may.
your mace. All right.
Ooh, 20?
20. That is that a natural
Yes.
20 or that's a dirty 20?
That's a dirty 20.
Okay. All right. Do your damage.
All right. Get the dice thing out of the way. And that's a
2?
Is it just a 2? Yeah, it's just a 2.
Just a 2.
Just a 2.
It's a bit sad.
I think.
How did
It is a bit sad, isn't
How
it?
do you only do 2 damage with a Mace of Disruption?
I don't know.
Is that even possible? Like,
I don't.
Okay.
It says 1d6.
I'm going to look into this because I find that disturbing.
Well, there's a plus 2d6 beside it. Was I supposed to write it? Roll 2.
Special plus 2d6. Weapon, mace, attunement, 1d6 or 2d6 special. Okay, it is an undead creature. So the creature takes an extra 2d6 radiant damage on top of that 1d6.
Okay.
If it has less than 25 hit points, it does extra things. So you could click on your Mace of Disruption and you can find this stuff. It's all there. It'll all pop up.
Yeah.
You can make the creature frightened of you, and don't forget you're a cleric, so you've also got like turn dead and shit like that.
Right. Yeah. Good to know that it's undead.
Well, yes. This thing, I think, is kind of obviously undead. I think that as a cleric, you realize immediately that what you're dealing with is undead. The Bodak
Right.
seemed a bit more demonic, but to be fair, I think it too was undead. But you wouldn't have necessarily known that. This is obviously undead.
Right. Okay.
So you're doing a d6 plus your strength bonus, which is 0, plus your undead damage, which is so an extra 2d6.
Okay. So do I just roll another d6 on top of...
You roll an extra 2d6 on top of what you rolled,
Oh.
if I'm
Okay.
not wrong. So you did 2 damage with your attack, your base attack, plus 2d6.
Okay. It's a 7?
7. Okay, so a
Top
total of
of-
9.
Total of 9.
Okay, poof. Nice. Right.
How
do you have
about...
any bonus actions or another?
Am I allowed to try to channel divinity on that, or is that
Yep.
because
yep,
I just did an
yep,
action?
Yep. No, channel divinity. I don't think it's even an action. Actually, it's just a class feature.
Sweet. As an action... Oh, it says as an action.
Oh, well, all right then. It says as an action. Excellent.
Present my holy symbol.
All right.
And each undead that can see or hear within 30 feet must make a wisdom saving throw. If you fail, it's a DC 13.
DC 13. Okay.
Yeah. If you
Wisdom
fail,
saving.
you're turned for a minute. Or
It's-
until you take damage.
It does not fail its saving throw. It ignores
Dang
you
it.
for that. Okay, but that's what you try and do. So you're like, in the name of Coralon the Rathian and Sehanin Moonbow, step back behind me, creature of the night, or whatever it is that you say. And it goes and comes in your direction. Milford.
Undead, you say?
All right.
Right. I go to think quickly. I say to her quickly before I charge in. Is my sword gonna do anything against that?
Who are you
Is it?
asking? You
I'm
don't.
ask-
You really don't know. I mean, if it was a skeleton, it would do some damage. If it was a zombie, it would do some damage. This thing looks a little bit more ethereal, to be fair. So you're not sure whether it will do any damage.
I'm not sure, but it's worth a try.
Okay, here we go. I'm going in.
All right. So Milford, you're going to go in. Are you going to try and step around it to the side, or are you just going to stay where you are?
I'm gonna try and step around it.
Okay. You can't actually get behind it because the room's too small. But yep, you can step to. Oh wait, that's Gudael. Okay, so you're going to step across here. All right.
Okay. Then I'm gonna try and kill it.
All right. Roll ahead. Roll ahead.
Okay, short swords again. Here we go. Boom.
19 to
19?
hit. That's a hit.
Oh, that's good.
Yep.
Okay. 4. Oh, crap. Okay. And the other one?
Yep. Next attack.
14.
That's a hit.
And a 7.
Okay, and your sneak attack damage because of the fact that you are all in hand-to-hand combat.
Okay.
You've got other members of your party who are engaged in melee.
Okay. Alright. Oh, can you do that for me, please?
Yep.
Yeah.
Coming up any moment now. 3d6 damage. That adds 13. Similar to the last creature, these creatures, it doesn't seem to take anywhere near as much damage as you were expecting. Although, to be fair, you kind of did expect it to do nothing, so maybe it took more damage than you were expecting. It took some damage. It did take some damage. It just didn't take, it wasn't corporeal. So
Okay.
it goes, your attacks go through it, but they're slowed down somewhat by whatever form it's taking. Okay, Adrik.
2 things. So I can hold my enlarge for a minute. Has it been more than a minute since we left the Bodak's chamber?
I'm going to give you 1 round.
Brilliant. Second, I was reading the Hammer of Thunderbolts thing. Top of its card, which I really should have been keeping in mind. I gain a +1 to bonus attack and damage rolls, which I haven't been doing at all up until now. So that's just something that I'm going to be using from now on.
Okay,
yes.
Cool.
So I'm just going to swing at it twice with my Hammer of Thunderbolts.
All right, roll to hit.
That is a 15 with
15,
that extra 1.
That's a hit.
Cool. That's a 2d6 plus 5. That is a 15 for that first hit.
15 damage?
Yes. That is it's a 14 to hit.
So your first hit smashes it up against the wall behind it. And it makes this kind of noise that echoes through the chamber. And your second hit hits as well.
Okay, well, it was I didn't even count my strength. That just makes it a 21. So that's 21 to hit, but that hit anyway.
Yep.
So that is a 16 damage.
16
that second hit.
damage.
And an extra d6 because I'm large.
Right, you're pounding the crap out of it.
Total of 20 damage, and that's second hit.
Okay. Well done. All right, at that point, the creature turns back to you, Adrik, and points its sword at you and lunges. Your armor class is what?
21 currently.
It hits you with a 21. You need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Cool. That is a 16.
16. You save.
Brilliant.
It
It doesn't do any damage?
does.
Okay. Because it hit before and I didn't add any damage to it. So
Didn't add any damage. Okay. 21.
21 total for these 2 rounds.
Yes.
Cool.
My apologies for that.
That's okay. Don't apologize for not damaging me. I
Right.
could have got away with it, to be fair.
Right. Well, I mean, bearing in mind that if you fail your saving throw, that'll reduce your permanent hit points.
Good thing I'm not!
Right. Okay. That's the Wraith. Gudael, it's your turn.
I'm going to cast Sacred Flame at it and hit it with my mace again.
Sacred Flame. Oh, okay. I'm making a Dex
A
saving
dex-
throw. Dex
yeah.
saving throw. Dex saving throw. It fails its Dex saving throw.
All right, and I had rolled.
Oh wait, it does not.
I got too
It's a
excited
19.
and I rolled
I lied. It does not fail
Ah!
its Dex saving throw.
Darn.
Ooh, that's a shame.
Okay.
That was a 19.
That is a
Okay,
Very
what else are
good.
you gonna do? What else
then
you
I'm
got
going
there?
to hit it with my mace.
Mace, go for your life.
Okay. So that's a total 22.
That's a hit. So you're doing 3d6 damage.
It's a 10.
10. Okay, you smash it with your Mace of Disruption, sending it up against the wall, and it shouts out this noise that echoes down the chamber, and then it begins to dissipate. And the crown drops to the floor, clatters. Ding, 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 ding. You see the crown is cracked, and a gem rolls out at your feet. A small red ruby.
Can I do a insight check?
Oh, you can make an investigation check.
Investigation check.
Yep.
Ooh, 8.
8. Yeah, no. Now, let me just look at the chat. I think Super Kawaii Desu Princess asked, she's curious why we don't use Roll20 or Foundry. Well, I use Roll20 for another game, but I find that with a homebrew game like this, it's generally a waste of time because you cannot just buy assets and load them in because all of the maps are my own and all of the world stuff is all my own stuff anyway, so it's kind of pointless. I find another main reason is because I've already spent hundreds of dollars on D&D Beyond, and I'm not going to spend it all again on Roll20 or Foundry because that would be absurd. So yeah, Roll20 is nice, Foundry is nice. It also takes an awful lot of work to get those things to work to the level that they look really nice. And beyond that, we mostly play a kind of theater of the mind game. All of our players are actors or performers, and so it's very role-playing focus. I don't like having a tiny little camera in the bottom corner of the screen. I would rather have something where I can make big cameras like this, or even bigger ones if I want to. You know, I can zoom these up and down. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question. Yeah. Okay. Oh, and Gudael at that point collapses onto the floor. Boof.
So, sorry, two things for me, Russell. I'm having a hard time with D&D Beyond on my laptop, so I'm doing everything from my phone right now.
Okay,
so
fair
just
enough.
in case I'm slowed down a bit.
Yep.
Second, I feel like Adrik, still enchanted by this thing, would charge off,
Right.
but also deeply concerned about Gudael. Could I roll to see if I break it?
You can make another saving throw. You can make another wisdom saving throw. I'll tell you what, because of your concern over Gudael, you can have advantage.
Thank you for that. I actually accidentally clicked out of the fucking sheet. Oh, no, okay, cool. It went right back in. I'm grateful. Thank you, D&D Beyond app, for doing the good thing.
Right.
And the not bad thing. Let's roll that twice. That is a 19 to
All
break
right.
it.
Yeah,
Hey!
you finally shake off that feeling that you absolutely have to go down that hallway as fast as possible. And so, yeah, you come back to feeling a little bit more like yourself. The sound is still there, and it's still kind of uncomfortable and penetrating your brain in a way that's rather unpleasant, but nonetheless, it's no longer forcing you to take action.
Oh,
Are you
sorry.
alright?
Yeah,
Gudael's having a bit of a nap right now.
Gudael's having a bit of a bye-bye.
that roaring, it got in my head, and I felt like I needed to get something. I don't know what, but I needed it.
Barry, you haven't heard it yet, have you?
No.
No. Well, it's probably time that you made a perception check now that he says that roaring.
Hang on. Oh, jeez. I'm having a day today, too.
I can make the check for you if you like.
Yeah, go on.
All right, here we go.
Perception.
Oh dear. You cannot hear it. Isn't that weird? Oh wait, that's a wisdom saving throw.
I can't hear you,
It's
know.
supposed to be a perception check. Hold on. Oh,
Hey,
but a
yeah.
natural 20.
Oh no, he can super hear it.
You can super hear it. So now we'll make the wisdom saving throw.
No, Barry, your
Okay.
superpower, your ignorance. No.
It's a fail,
Wisdom.
but not much of a fail. Yeah, you'll suddenly, Milford, you sort of stand up like, You can hear it now, and you know exactly what you must do.
I got a 20, natural 20.
Well, you made it. You can't just make that check after I've rolled it. Okay, you rolled it. You rolled it. It's a natural
I'm sorry,
20.
I thought somebody told me to do something.
Then you were like, but
You said wisdom check.
Dungeon Master's brain explodes.
It's okay, Barry. You did good, and you're not charging off into
You know
the
what?
middle.
Well, I'm going to put this in the hands of the viewers.
No,
Does
what?
Milford Brixton make his saving throw or not?
I got a natural 20. It's the only one I've had all game.
It's the only one he's had for a while, Russell.
All right, he makes the saving throw.
Thank you, Dungeons and Dipshits.
Thank you.
I
for
love
also
you
saying
all.
yes.
I love
Alright.
you all.
There you go.
All right. I'm.
You
While-
want me to carry Gudael, do you?
No. I've got her. Don't worry. Don't worry. Let's just. There we.
Okay, I'll go ahead this time, okay?
Yeah. You keep an eye out. I'll make sure she's fine. Thank you.
Okay, I do it with a bit of finish, please. I don't go storming down to the other end.
Well, it wasn't my fault. I was beguiled, enchanted.
I'm not saying it was your fault. Just saying, I'm telling the God that, I'm not gonna doom down there.
I don't truck with no goals, Brixton.
Okay.
Okay, so you've got Gudael over your shoulder now, Adrik. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're heading down the corridor, and you come out into a large chamber. And it's a semicircular chamber, and there's 4 pillars against the wall. This is where the noise is coming from. There's a pool of water in the center of the room, almost like a well, but filled right up to almost the very edge. Everything is made of black obsidian, and just out from the wall is this black, shiny obelisk, this stone rectangular thing sitting there. It's not flat, this particular obelisk. It's like a broken piece of something, black stone.
Mm-hmm.
And this is making this noise. This is where the sound is coming from. It's vibrating through your skull now. You're in the same room as it.
And I'm assuming Brixton has never seen anything like this.
He is not.
Just
And-
making sure.
You can both
Is-
make perception checks, though.
Brilliant. Hell yeah, that's a tasty 16.
Tasty 16.
A tasty 16.
I
Feels good in my
especially,
face hole.
I especially like the way. Okay, Milford, you don't notice shit.
Yeah, I don't notice shit.
You notice that the floor is quite flat, and as in level as opposed to flat.
I'm
It's actually quite
looking
jagged.
for the keys.
Right, so you're looking around for keys, thinking there's got to be some keys here somewhere.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Adrik, you feel like you're being watched. You're really feeling uncomfortable about this. It's the sensation of being watched, and you've got Gudael slung over your shoulder there.
I'm going to step back and rest her against a wall. If something happens to me, I don't want her to get caught in it.
Okay. Incidentally, this is definitely some kind of dead end, by the way. There's nowhere else to go. I lie. There is one other corridor that seems to lead in the opposite direction to the door that you came through to get into this chamber. Do
Can
I
I-
need to... No, I
Yeah.
don't. We'll just go over here. Okay.
Can I do any sort of investigation on the obelisk?
Sure. You go up to it, and as you get closer to it, the sound seems to exponentially increase, and the vibrating sensation that's going through your skull seems to increase, and you think you can hear all of these noises and whispers and things. Adrik, come through, step through the doorway, and come to us, Adrik.
Brixton?
What's the problem?
It wants us to go through the door.
It was what door? There's no door here but that one there.
There. The one beyond. One beyond the obelisk.
Brixton, you're seeing the obelisk, and you're seeing there's a kind of a space beyond it that's just very dark, and your night vision does not seem to be able to penetrate it.
My night vision can't penetrate that.
In fact,
Edrik.
can you guys both make perception checks again, please?
Yeah.
I don't like it when he says that.
That's a 14.
14, yeah.
Oh, watch me get it.
20.
Oh, 22.
Hey!
Oh, all right.
Now we're talking.
All right, there you go. Okay. You both notice that everything has gone kind of black and white, like all the color has leached out of the room.
Michael has an inclination to something to do with interplanar bullshit. Could I roll something to see if Adrik knows what that might be?
You can make an Arcana check.
Yeah, that
I'll give you one last clue too before you do that, and that is that in the air around you, like if you were to take a solid clear substance and fracture it, you'd see lines running through it, right?
Yeah.
Three-dimensional lines running through it in different directions, like fractures. What you can see is in the air around you are these three-dimensional fractures in the space, literally in the room next to you.
Okay, so the universe around me has kind of been shattered in the space.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna roll that Arcana check, knowing that. Do the thing, please, Adrik. There we go. Damn, I'm getting a lot of 10s. That's a 12.
12. Yeah, I mean, I think pretty much you've heard of places in the Underdark that you've heard stories of places in the Underdark where you've had descriptions of things like this in your childhood, and they've largely been connected to the Shadowfell.
Okay. Brixton, you're familiar that I grew up under a mountain, aye?
Can I add one last thing before you go into that?
Please.
The location of the tomb of stone embryos that you are aware of, Adrik,
Yeah.
is such a place as this. It has the same effect.
So the place where I put my child and all of that, it feels just like this.
Feels just like this.
Oh man, Adrik hates this. He fucking hates this. Brixton, this.
What's up?
It feels like the tomb when Yes, the place feels like a tomb. It feels like a fracture in the universe. And growing up, I heard tales that this feeling in places like this, it led to a place called the Shadowfell.
I almost went there once. When I died.
Well, let's hope you don't take the scenic route this way. Let's go the other way instead of the right that I battled down. We shouldn't be here. Not if we can avoid it.
Gudael begins to stir.
We better look for the key. It might be here.
Gudael.
Try not concentrate on that.
Gudael. Sound.
Yes, hello.
Yep. You need to make a perception check and a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no. Oh no.
Perception.
Perceptione.
Perceive somewhat.
All right, so
14.
14 on your perception check. Okay, so when you come to, you find yourself laying next to this pool of stagnant water, which is inside a kind of a rim, like a well, but it's not very high, maybe half a foot high, the rim of this well. It's about 8 feet across, made of black stone, black obsidian. Behind that is a wall with 4 pillars embedded into it, and in front of between the 2 central pillars and behind the well is this huge black obelisk, kind of like this chunk of stone. It's got all these different facets. It's not tidy and flat. It's not like a perfect rectangular thing. It's this chunk of stone, about 8 feet tall, and it's making this noise that is kind of reverberating through your soul. And as you look around the room, as I described to Barry and to Michael a moment ago, I just want to do a little thought experiment here. Like, if you were to take a substance, any kind of substance, and you were to smash it, hit it very hard, a clear substance, you would get these fractures running through it, right? Like a piece of glass or a diamond or something. And you imagine that with 3D fractures in it. Well, these 3D fractures are literally running through the air and space around you, as if the location, the time and space you're standing in is literally fractured. There's these lines just hanging in the air, which is quite disturbing. And was there something else I'm missing here?
I rolled a 16 for my wisdom saving throw.
Okay, so you feel the tugging towards the pillar, towards the monolith, but you are able to resist it. And you see Adrik and Milford sort of standing nearby, chattering.
Chattering with cold or
talking.
talking?
Yeah.
We shouldn't go through there. I think this is a hole to the Shadowfell.
Oh, and also all of the color has leached out of this scene as well. There's black and white. Everything is black and white.
I don't like this place.
Oh, yeah. Welcome back. How was your nap?
Oh, it fine.
You didn't get any messages, did you?
No, just a sort of a nightmare about a baby goblin.
Oddly specific.
Odd thing to be.
Gudael, do you know anything about rocks? Conjecture. This rock is what's enabling this hole in the world. So my thought is, if we break the rock, it goes away.
Is it possible it's related to the Pakad?
You want to make
Yes,
a history check?
Okay. 11.
It's very possible.
That's every possibility.
If it's related to the Pakad, like she says, we better leave it alone.
What you reckon? Don't smack at nothing.
If we break it, awful things may come out of it.
Awful things have already come from it. But I take your point. In any case, we should probably leave. Go the other way.
Okay, so you're in this chamber. There's these pillars around the room. There's...
Can I go close to the pillars?
Yes, you can. You walk over to the pillars. You're going to investigate.
Yeah. I want to see if there's any kind of message, key, picture, you name it, investigate.
All right. Can you
where's
make an
my
investigation check on the first pillar, please?
Okay, hang on. Fuck. It's a 6.
Okay, you don't find anything on the first pillar. So you can walk over to the second pillar and have a look if you want.
Yeah.
It's a shame we couldn't
Second
bandage it up.
pillar.
Second
what were you
pillar.
saying, Gudael?
13.
I was just wondering if we could bandage it up or something.
The stone?
The stone, yes. Just sort of
Right.
secure it somehow.
I hadn't considered that.
What did you say, Barry, was your second check?
13.
13. You notice that towards the bottom of it, on one side of it, there's a cavity. It's a circular cavity, and when you look inside it, it's about 1 foot long. So it goes into the side of the pillar,
Yeah.
about 1 foot. It doesn't pass all the way through the pillar, but There's like a hole, like a tubular hole.
Now I've seen that, I go to the other one and have a look in the same place.
Okay, yeah, you see another one of these tubular holes.
What do you two make of this then?
How
It
big are
looks
the
like-
holes?
About that big.
It looks like you could place something in there, or something was removed.
Does it-
You said there were 4 pillars, right, Russell?
Yep.
I'm gonna go and taking Brixton's lead. I'm gonna go look at one of the other pillars that Barry hasn't looked at yet.
Right, same
Okay.
deal. There's exactly the same deal. All 4
so
pillars are missing something, or at least whether they're missing something or there's just a hole there for something to go, or whether it's just a design feature. Could be a design feature, a very
Do they
strange
look
design
like-
feature, but yes.
Could there be key locks?
there's a potential for that. There's always the potential, and like the room only has these 4 pillars and that obelisk. There's no hidden alcoves beyond that shattered hole in the universe.
So you
Can I get in the water?
want to get in the water?
Yes. I'll get them to put a rope around me, my rope, and I'll get in the water and see if there's anything under the water.
So you're just going to step in, or what?
No, I'm gonna try and have a look first. See
Okay.
if there's any kind of movement like a fish or a... Yeah.
Okay, so you're taking a rope.
Yes.
So Milford takes out a rope. What do you guys do when you see him doing this? He
What are you up
starts
to,
tying it
Brixton?
around his waist.
And
What are you up to, Brixton?
Well, if I was to hide a key, this would be the one place I would hide it.
Well, maybe you get there for a drink. Adrik's gonna look inside the well with his 120-foot dark vision to see if he sees anything.
All right. Can you make a perception check? Just a straight perception check.
Can do. Oh man, it was almost a 16. That's a 10.
You see the ceiling of the room reflected from the angle that you're at. Nothing particularly interesting there.
It doesn't seem especially deep or shallow.
Well, you can't see the bottom.
Okay.
It seems to be black water, like black liquid, actually, like a shiny black substance.
Is there anything? Is there enough room for me to reach inside?
You can't tell because you can't see under the surface.
I meant like just like maybe dip my hand like to how far it is from where my head is. So if I could just reach and put my hand on the water.
You could put your hand in the water.
Okay. Brixton, just before you dive in, Adrik's gonna reach into his pack and he's gonna pull out a I've got a stake, like a wooden stake. I'm gonna grab that and just rustle it through the water.
Okay, it stirs it up, most certainly. Make another perception check.
Yeah, this is a 18.
Okay, this strange sight befalls you. This purple light begins to reflect from the surface, and as it goes still again, the reflection seems to be that of this strange purple dark sky. With this weird storm brewing on it. In the distance, on the edge of the circle, because it's acting like a fisheye lens, warping whatever the image is on the other side. It's warping this image so that you can see not only the sky but the horizon around the ring. And the horizon has these strange mountains, black, dark mountains and shadows, and you see a pathway. Like an old stone pathway with broken pillars next to it. And you can see lightning in the distance, and in the far, far distance you think you can see for a moment a tower.
I'm gonna just because I don't know if I could do justice to that picture. I'm just gonna relay all of that verbatim to the guys.
Well, they can make perception checks themselves.
Also that.
excellent. Ugh, 15.
All right, Gudael, you see everything I just described.
Okay.
Milford.
Okay. And 11.
Milford, you're having trouble seeing this. You're like, what are you talking about? I can't see what are you saying there? That's,
What, you two are out of your minds.
you can see their reflections.
I can see your reflection.
Oh, Brixton, you also couldn't hear the humming of that stone until you could. So
Oh, that's a point.
you're not
That's a
as
good point.
perceptive as you think you
So
are.
do you think I should get in and go and have a look?
I think that's an option, but potentially less lethal could be that walkway back there. So I think let's definitely consider it, but that
Okay.
doesn't look like a place I'm familiar with.
I do have a spell called Water Walk that we could potentially. I don't know if it would give us any advantage at all, but we could potentially walk around on top of the surface. And if there's anything in there, we could, if it's a creature, we could call it up to us. Not that we would want to, but.
Not that we'd want to. Aye.
Okay. Let's go. I say we go through that door and see where that leads to.
The Shadowfell door, or the back the way we came?
It's only. I'm not happy about going to Shadowfell, no.
Well, okay, let's. If we're all in agreement, go back the way we came and try the other way in that T-junction.
Okay, let's try that then.
Yes, let's
Gudael?
try that. Yes, I'm all for it. But I would also, maybe you could explain on the way how we know that's a door to the Shadowfell.
It's mostly a feeling. It's. Well, I mean, there's the big spooky cracks in the sky, and growing up under the mountain, you hear stories about holes in reality that lead to the Shadowfell and the
Well, you
Underworld.
could tie a rope to me and I could go in there.
That's always an option. We
I've
could
already
just do
got
that
it
now.
around my waist. You want to give it a go?
No, let's go back the way we came. I'm not keen to send you to the Shadowfell just yet.
Well, we'll give that a go if we don't find anything the other side.
Okay, let's go.
All right, so you go round back the way you came. You take the other entrance through the T junction, and it leads you back to the other entrance in the pool chamber. So it's just a circle.
Okay.
That's what I thought it was gonna be.
All right.
Crap.
Brixton, you ready to jump in?
Okay then.
All right. Adrik's gonna grab the other end of the rope. When you're ready.
You can also tie that rope to my grapple
Good
if you
idea.
want. Yeah.
And Adrik does so.
Okay.
Okay, so you're literally just holding the rope at one end, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just Adrik holding the rope.
No, I think Adele's going to lend her strength to this.
Gudael supervising.
Her little bit of strength.
Okay, so you will get help on this, Adrik, for an athletics check. Milford, you step in. Yeah, you're just going to step in.
Yeah.
Okay, you immediately sink, blunk straight, as if somebody jumped into a pool of water. It's exactly like that.
Okay.
And blunk, you disappear into the water, and you feel this moment where your consciousness is just being stripped apart. Everything's just being pulled away from you in all directions. The sound that you were hearing before, that woo, intensifies to a point where it's at highest pitch and you can hear nothing else. Your entire body is just being vibrated apart by this noise. And then blackness. At the other end of the rope, you can make an athletics check.
Is
Yes,
that-
indeed. That's with advantage. Thank you, Gudael. And this is 10
With advantage, a 10.
with advantage. I got I got a crit 1 on one of them and a 5 on the other. So it's not as bad as it could be.
Oh my God, why me, Lord? I knew I should have retired today.
Milford Brixton, you
You
are,
get lost in space forever.
This is the end for Milford Brixton for now.
No.
Oh.
You better get me out of jail.
That's our first death in the
No,
campaign.
no fucking way.
Sorry, guys.
Are you serious?
Of course I'm serious.
It happens.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Now, to be fair, Barry, you wake up on the other side. But you are in the
What?
Shadowfell. And there's no going back because there's no exits, there's no door, there's nothing, there's no pool, there's nothing, there's no rope. The rope is broken. There's a piece of rope attached to you.
Question is,
Yeah.
first thing I'd want to find out is, am I dead in the Shadowfell?
You don't know.
Okay.
But but one thing is for sure is that the Shadowfell, according to the lore that you know, according to everything you learned growing up, is where you go when you're dead.
Okay. Right.
Oh,
So
fuck, Barry, I'm so sorry.
if you're here, then you must be dead. But you're standing in this horrific landscape of dark, shadowy mountains and lightning and these little motes of dust rising up away from you, like little dots of ash rising off the horizon and off the ground around you. These little black flowers breaking through the ground in various places around you, and you can hear "Whoa." And there is this road in front of you, this ancient broken road made of steps and pillars and things that look very, very old and very, very
that's
smashed.
all right. That's all right.
You see a dragon fly overhead, quite high up.
Well,
Looks
if
like
I'm
it's a-
dead, that's not going to matter.
This is a black, shadowy dragon that flies over you, woof, and disappears off into the distance. And
I'm
that,
gonna.
ladies and gentlemen, is the end of Milford Brixton for now.
I'm gonna follow the dragon.
Okay, so you head in that direction.
Yep.
All right, so Gudael and Adrik, Milford's gone. The rope
Adrik
snaps,
is-
you pull the rope out, and he's gone.
Adrik is inconsolable with grief.
Dale's
That-
speechless.
He's like crying, he's screaming, he's smashing his fist into the stone.
Can you make a perception check, Adrik?
It's a 20.
Okay. You as you're smashing your fist into the stone, you see bits of rock coming off, and you see, as you look up, you see on the side of one of the pillars near the top where you didn't look before. From the angle that you're at now, you can see the word Earth in giant runes written around the edge of the pillar, and there's the symbol for Earth.
Gonna crawl over to it,
All right.
and just still tears streaming down my face, and get up close to the rune,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna run my fingers across it.
All right. It's definitely the
Definitely
giant,
Earth.
ancient giant script for Earth. As you run your fingers over it, you notice there's a little bit of Elven written around the edge of it. Much smaller
Dala.
writing, like a circle of Elven writing around the edge of it.
Dala, what does this say?
Okay, so Dala's been kneeling over the pool, trying to see Brixton. And I assume she's lost sight of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she turns and comes over to where Adrik is. And she kneels down and she puts the hand on Adrik's shoulder and looks at what he's pointing at.
So you notice there's these large runic symbols on the base of the... I can't remember where I said it was, the bottom or the top.
It's like on the base of it where I couldn't see
The
before.
base, yeah.
Yeah. This says Earth in giant. Well, you can read that, of course.
Yes, and there's some elven words here, which
Right.
say...
Can you make an Arcana check now, Gudael?
If only Aelar was here. 11?
Yeah, what you definitely elven letters, elven writing, words you do not understand. It looks like gibberish to you. I mean, there's a certain amount of grammatical correctness to it. It seems to have some sort of internal logic, but you don't know what it means or how to say it.
All right. Gudael, she's got her painting supplies, so she's going to
She does.
whip that out, and she's going to try to copy it down as best as she can to show Aelar later.
Right, okay. All right.
She's getting a bit pragmatic in her grief. She's shutting that down.
Curiosity killed the cat.
Yeah. Yeah, it did.
But I had to do it, because that's what he would have done.
Right.
So
So,
what else are we gonna do? Walk through the hole? I mean, we could still walk through the hole. Not gonna do that.
This is a dangerous place. So,
Yeah, Yes. And he breaks down into tears again.
Milford said he didn't want to go into the Underdark again, and then we did. And then I said I didn't want to send him to the Shadowfell, and we did.
We should have left him back on that island. He said he didn't want to come. We should have just left him.
Come on, guys, don't get guilty. God, that'll make
We're
my ghost
role-playing,
really
Barry.
upset.
so it's 9:59. Do you want to do anything else? Do you want to make a final perception check?
Find that key. Find that damn key.
I want to do a final perception check to see if Barry's sacrifice has had any effect on the obsidian, if there's any change in this room.
All right.
I don't know what I'm looking for.
Okay.
It's a 21.
Well, you see there's writing at the base of each of the pillars.
Mm-hmm.
In the same place. Basically, almost the same writing, except that the first one says fire, the second one says water, the third one says air, and earth.
And is the elven writing the same, or is it,
It
slightly
is.
different
It is actually the same.
on each pillar?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do you think we do something with each element across these pillars? Maybe set that one on fire?
It could be. It could be a clue to what the mythal is.
That's a mighty fine point. Adrik looks into the pool, and though this might be a key, but I think we've lost our key.
Yes.
Milford's got an idea.
Oh, Brixton, there you are. What's your idea, Brixton?
No,
phone it
what I
home.
mean is, where he is, he has an idea.
Right. Well, out
Not
of
to do
game,
with
guys.
that. Not to do with that.
It's 10:01 for me, and
Yeah.
I must wrap up, unfortunately, for this evening. But I hope you had some fun before you lost Milford Brixton.
Yeah.
What can I say? And welcome to Liho for now following. It's nice to
I
have
wouldn't
you.
be able to play.
You have a great night.
Yeah, what are you gonna do until we get Ren back?
These are great questions. You might even have to have a break. I'm not sure. Or you could play an NPC. We'll see how we go.
Aelar.
Maybe. Probably not Aelar. Probably someone that has not been introduced yet, in any case. So, thank you all. Well, once again, if you're new to Sidarhael, that's the name of this campaign setting in the Vaingate Chronicles, please check out the links below. Have a look around before you go off on your internet journey. And we'd like to say thank you for coming. We'll see you all next week.